We find ourselves in a post-apocalyptic world ravaged by beings from another dimension, where there are corrupted monsters, evil organizations, and plenty of mysteries to uncover across a massive map with beautiful biomes and deadly enemies.
Are those giant spiders? Oh, ha, yes! You know, once you get over your actophobia, this is not half bad. Don't you shush me! Oh my god! Hi, Muma!
Once Human is a free-to-play open-world survival game that just released that my team and I had our eyes on for quite some time, and they actually reached out to us to sponsor this adventure and let us play the game early. So here is a full dive of the game's story, where we will be facing the 5 great ones in an attempt to save the world within 100 days. Hey, my lovelies, I am your humble ringmaster, Crowmeda, and say it with me now, let this show begin! We begin this nightmare-fueled adventure in a lab of sorts, as a dude in white clothing, and I get the feeling we were a test subject of sorts. But yeah, this seems to be the tutorial area, as there is food and water readily available for me. On one of the desks there was a memo, something about a chrono cage. Seems like the owners of this place intended to keep something contained at all costs. Speaking of the owners, this place has Rosetta written on the walls, so that must be the group in charge. Although one of their researchers is down on the floor, so HR might want to know about that. But upon inspecting them, it seems like we might be subject A073, at least that's what I gather. Maybe we were what was contained in the mentioned chrono cage and broke out. Also, we were in stasis, cause of reappearance unknown, and apparently we were impaled by an object of unknown material from rift space. Yeah, it seems like we ourselves are a whole bag of mysteries. To leave this room, there is a code on the top of my screen, which when put into the keypad gets me through the door, where I loot an access card and get intel that a cradle was recovered near where I was retrieved. Cradles are used by mayflies, 2 terms that I soon will come to understand, as I use the card to open a door where I see a backpack of sorts that seems to distort reality itself in a creepy scene where we see ourselves and some living robot tentacles, and in the blink of an eye, we are the person wearing the backpack. And with that, a mysterious crow flaps before us, and apparently it can speak. It turns out it's friendly and named V. V tells us that we are a metahuman, and because of that, we managed to awaken the cradle, thus freeing him from inside, the cradle being the backpack that we now have on. We also appear to have memory loss, so the magic bird will be our guide. He seems to be a trustworthy individual, so I don't see why not. He's here to secure something called a deviation, that being a paper butterfly, so we'll help him find that, and then we'll get out of here. But what I have secured for you, my lovelies, is a code that you can see here on screen that'll give you some goodies to get you started in this free game, downloadable on Steam with the link in the description. The game just launched, and it's been a real pleasure to work on this project that OnceHuman sponsored, since this game is right up my alley as an open world survival game with insane monsters. It's honestly one of those projects that I wish I could have recorded even more, because I got quite invested into the story and my build, and my whole team was itching to play with me, since this can be played co-op in PvE or PvP, and because of all those reasons, I can highly recommend that y'all test this out with your friends in your preferred playstyle by downloading it today. After casually walking through a portal, I got to loot a weapon crate that had a machete inside, so we all know that combat is imminent, and the hallway looks different than before. There's things floating around and odd humanoids stand in my way, like this lamp head that I poked. Turns out, these corrupted humans are affected by an element called stardust, but as a metahuman, we can use that stuff to our advantage, so we have powers like snapping our fingers to scan for loot chests, like a few in the area that I got, granting me a hat, some fabric, and most importantly, Molotovs. After more head bashing and looting, I found this after image of a kind of person standing in front of a magical door, and by interacting with him, I entered a whole gosh darn different dimension. And turns out this is a spatial fluctuation, and I can use my finger snap to locate spatial theaters to listen in on conversations from the past. In this case, that of some dude that I think is from Rosetta, and a girl named Mitsuko, who is a metahuman, and in short, she is scared of her powers and has a deviation, that being the paper butterfly that V is looking for. And yeah, this place is absolutely littered with them, but they don't seem to be alive. But during the conversations, it seems like the dude plans to challenge some evolutionists group by having Mitsuko, who is basically a transcendent human from what I can gather.
What the f? You.
Moving on, we come to see freakier and freakier monsters like a suitcase head who, when defeated, drops his head that I can use to bombard my enemies with pure capitalism. And with the area now clear, I could find the butterfly, which I managed to catch, but from what I can tell, these catch attempts have a chance of failing. But yeah, with it secured, we get shown a scene of Mitsuko with all sorts of otherworldly powers and a display of butterflies in an infinite pattern before phasing in front of a house. And just like that, presto, we are at the house in a forest. And in the house, there is Mitsuko. And to just blast through the conversation real quick in bullet points, she's happy Via's alive, he was freed when I opened the cradle, Rosetta experimented on her so she's sensitive to spatial fluctuations, V found refuge alongside her after an event called Starfall, which basically was around 20 years ago when Rosetta was trying to make humans stronger with deviants, making them metahumans in the process, which are called mayflies. And at some point they caused the spatial fluctuations so big that creatures called Great Ones slipped into our physical world. You still following because it keeps going. Stardust is poison responsible for the monsters and deviants. The butterflies are like Mitsuko's emissaries, and on the topic of deviants, there are these glass boxes used to contain them, and from there used in our adventures to aid us, but they are to be taken care of or else they leak more stardust. All that containment stuff is the job of us mayflies, all in order to live in harmony with the deviants that come from rift space. And why is that important, you ask? Well, more stardust in the physical world means more likely the physical and the rift space dimensions collide, causing all sorts of hell to break loose, and some deviants bad, some deviants good. That was quite a bit to take in, but it's the foundation to the story, so I hope y'all paid attention. Class dismissed. Just in time too, as a giant monster is breaking into this dimension. Apparently, it's called a siren. And this is still the tutorial, so we quickly are taught how to take a deviant along with us. Also got to change my name to Crowmeda, loot some more gear. Also got sanity gummies to replenish sanity loss at the bottom of our screen. And with that, got to collecting wood, gravel, and sulfur. And with some of that stuff, whipped up a basic camp that serves as a basic crafting and respawn point. Here is where I crafted a tier 1 crossbow, a torch bat, and more arrows. We are now ready to face the siren, which is this bizarre tower apparently, but it rises up from the march, showing its grotesque body, and oh my goodness gracious, this thing is massive and comes with the built-in feature to spawn minions. Luckily, it is incredibly weak because this is the tutorial, so a few arrows here and there is enough to do the trick, so bada bing bada boom, down it goes and is slain. And where it died, it is revealed that there is a deviant, an orange jelly that reminds me of a certain entity from my SCP-100 days. Either way, this one escapes my grasp. We mention all of this to Mitsuko, and she says since we're in rift space that she created, it likely will now appear in the physical world. So that's where V and I are to go. It's time to hop into the adventure of a lifetime by being sucked through the front door, which just so happens to make us fall out of a door in the sky of the physical world. But don't you worry, we're not just free falling here. V actually acts as a built-in glider, so we can safely descend to the ground. And man, this map is massive. Once on solid ground, I knew that we need to claim some territory to start making a basic shelter. And so on day 2, I found this ledge that seems easy enough to defend, so this territory shall be mine, in the form of some foundations and the main base metal thing. But I'm not looking to be cramped, so with some supplies gathered, I expanded the base and even propped up some walls. Here's also where I learned about the memetics menu, which in short is your progression trees, and when you level up, you gain Cipher, the DNA symbol, and that energy link, the energy symbol. That's what you need to unlock things in the 4 trees involving mostly gathering, crafting, and building progression. Combat skills come later. I started by unlocking the disassembly bench along with the furnace, and with some stone smashed, got to make my first furnace at sunrise, inside which I got logs to turn into charcoal, and with this new item, I got to burn some gravel into glass. And once I had enough of that, I got copper ingots to smelt. And while that's cooking, I used the glass that I got to make the mirror, which serves as your character creation interface. And it does have tons of options and sliders to make your character unique, but I don't have the currency at the moment to change my style. I need some type of chrysalis token that I do get later on. By retrieving my ingots, I leveled up to level 3, and this is just the ingots that I needed to make my disassembly bench, which is a must-have in the game, since it converts all your miscellaneous items that you find into usable resources. With that completed, I placed down a mailbox at my front porch and proceeded to unlock more building pieces and some storage plans. By doing this, I completed a task, which is in the journey menu, which in short, rewards you by learning the game with XP and energy link. To finish up the base, which I think we will call Camp Alpha, I got some ceilings placed, as well as a door, some windows to let some light in, and a balcony. At this time is where I noticed that the only lab clothing that I still had on me were the pants, so I went to hunt down some deer to make a pair. Absolutely freaking obliterated. Oh my god.
It's just the sound makes it so satisfying. Oh, it lived? Not on my watch.
With hide obtained along with meat, copper, and sulfur, I went back to camp and made a second furnace so one can be pumping out charcoal and the other ingots. As for more mimetics that I unlocked, I got the copper pickaxe, a workbench, a gear workbench, stove with some food recipes, as well as ammunition crafting. That there unlocks a pistol blueprint, and as you can probably assume, there are different blueprints for different weapons at different tiers to let you make better weapons. The new pick was whipped up, deer meat got roasted, and then apparently I completed a season goal which lets me claim Mitsuko marks, which I think I need to get enough of to fill the circle to get more rewards. And I do gotta say there are tons of currencies to unlock and purchase things, and from what I could see in all of these menus, there seem to be only cosmetic items. At night, while resources were still processing, I decided to say hello to our neighbors, and they're pretty easy to beat. They do got some big spiders though, along with humanoids that toss energy balls, but all of them stood no chance against my crossbow. With the area looted up, I had gotten myself miscellaneous items for the grinding device, some resources like acid, and some ammo. With the items disassembled on day 3, I saw that I got adhesive, which let me whip up a gear workbench. This is where you can make weapons and armor and also improve them. In the case of crafting here, you need to make all the required weapon parts to assemble it. So as I needed more supplies, I decided to raid this little shack in a nearby pond, which was cleared out quite easily, and surprisingly had quite a bit of lootables. You gotta check everywhere though, even trash cans can hold a lot of stuff. Because I leveled up to level 5 here, I was able to choose a specialization in this new menu. Of the options presented to me, I chose the one that reduced resource weight, because I do plan to grind a ton to make an amazing base later on.
Oh, they respawn! I repeat, they respawn!
Once safe, I unlocked the knowledge to smelt bronze ingots, which means we're going to need to find tin very soon. For now though, I scrapped enough parts together to make my first firearm, a trusty pistol, and the neighbors had ammo for it just lying around, so thank you very much. And some of the items that I got here were converted into electronics, interestingly enough, so we might be looking into making some generators of some sorts later on. Here's also where I made a pair of rustic pants, a bed to sleep to recover my sanity, and then calibrated the pistol with some ingots to improve its stats, along with making copper ammo for it, which means ammo can be made in varying tiers based on the description there. Also got the item made from my specialization to improve my carry capacity on wood and stone. Now let's craft some bandages just in case we need to heal up in a pinch. As for my story objective, I was tasked to go to a monolith, which is very close by, so I used V to close the distance, but ended up in a swamp where I had to pop some caps into a gator in order to proceed. Once I got near the monolith though, the surrounding vegetation seemed dead, so cautiously I looted the area around it and dispatched any monsters. So with the area cleared, I went to the entrance of the monolith where someone named Mary was just chilling there. I spoke to her, and she's defensive at first, but relaxes as she learns that, we are a mayfly. Apparently, she's one too, which I find odd since I don't see a cradle on her, but you know what? Whatever you say. But yeah, we're buddies now, and since we're chilling, she says that she's here to investigate a deviation connected to the monolith, so we kinda want the same thing here. But she says that we're not ready for this rodeo just yet, so she hands us a shotgun blueprint so we can gear up first. Once ready, we are to meet her in a town called Deadsville. Once we're done, V says not to mention Mitsuko to anyone since he doesn't remember Mary. No one must know about Mitsuko's existence since Rosetta likely will be after her immediately. Thankfully, we're able to teleport to base, so it didn't take very long for the double barrel to be crafted, and I already have ammo for it, which is nice, but I want to level up a bit before going on the main story, so just by exploring the region, I leveled up once, unlocked more armor and weapon mimetics, got more resources, whipped up some SMG ammo, which is when V said that a teleport station has opened up at Deadsville, likely because Mary's there and wants us to teleport to the town whenever we please, but you know what? I'm busy, just give me a moment. I was in the process making this here new SMG, a raid mask, hunting some deer at night to make a raid top as well as raid pants, all in order to be ready for the quest. Before heading out though, our neighbors felt the full brunt force of our double barrel, but you know what, you really need to be close to get the best bang for your buck with this gun. And I was surprised to see that next to our neighbors was a teleporter this whole time, so I activated it, and these allow you to travel across the map once you unlock all of them, but it does cost energy link. With more deer obliterated on day 4, I crafted raid gloves and boots, but I was still looking for a bit more scrap to finish my set.
What the? Hello? What are you?
Well, that is one big nope right there. Yes, indeed. Luckily, my focus was redirected to phone booths constantly ringing. Seems like a soul is in the radio waves and speaks in riddles. likely a side quest of sorts and says something about an eternal harbor. But you know what? Let's poke Big, Tall, and Ugly, shall we?
Okay, nope. That was a really bad idea. Oh my god. Yeah, that'll do it. That right there says a whole lot. I had to poke it. I had to. You can't blame me. Oh, oh, what the? No, no.
My escape led me to a hospital with high stardust pollution, which drops my sanity, which drops my max health. So after looting the whole thing and then teleporting home, I chewed on this gummy that solved the sanity issue, and with the loot I got, I was able to make the raid mask. So the set is complete, and with that, I'm off to Deadsville, but I'd be going there without teleporting, which was a pretty good idea since I stumbled upon a new deviant.
What the? Okay. Hey, get back here, you stinking. Come on. Strange door, cradle override. Okay. I think I just got a new deviant.
At the outskirts of Deadsville, I spoke to an adventurer who wanted to bring his dad's ashes to a lighthouse. And side note, just like this, there are many side quests, and I'll be doing a lot of them when I do map completion sprees, but I will be mainly focusing on detailing the story missions. And I was real glad that the town is a safe zone with a few shops here and there, but I couldn't buy anything at the moment because I'm broke. So I just spoke to Mary, who says that one of the merchants travels quite a lot and because of that might have useful information for us on how to find the deviant we're after. The merchant's name is Claire and she needs our help. In short, she has some assistants and sent them out to get some supplies at a rotten manor and they just never returned. Plus the place had seen a surge in deviants recently, so that's a place that we'll definitely check. Also, there is this odd fancy fella called Samuel Lowe who knows that we're trying to get into the monolith somehow, and the way to do that is to activate devices called rift anchors, is what he says. By activating them, we can enter rift space where the monolith's deviant is hidden. These anchors tend to be in stardust polluted areas like the rotten manor. Mary decides she will hack into the monolith from a safe distance while we go activate the necessary anchors ourselves. To do this, she gifts us a motorcycle, so thank you, ma'am. What's cool is that you can summon it freely whenever you want. About this fella Lowe, though, all I got was that he gives us hints on where there are deviants for us to catch. That's kind of his whole purpose, and he kind of ends up being in every single town just to give you hints. On our new steel steed, I rode on to the rotten manor, and upon reaching its general area, the amount of corrupted monsters increased drastically. Sensing danger, I placed this simple camp at dusk, like in the tutorial, to serve as a respawn point should the worst come to happen. I then laid waste to all the creepy beasties in the manor while considering my lower health because of the pollution. And yeah, the rift anchor is covered in some otherworldly substance, and it seems like Claire's team didn't make it out alive. They seem to be covered in some slime, which for some reason, I had to touch it.
Oh, what? Whoa, what the heck is that? Hold the phone. Woo! Oh, he's got one too! No, you don't. No, you don't. Okay, he's not that bad. He's not that bad. Oh, he's that bad. He is that bad. Okay. Oh, boy. I'm clenching up, but I think we got this in the bag. I think we got it in the bag. What is up with you? Ravenous hunter or something?
Rift anchor. Let's take a closer look.
Closer look at what? What am I looking at? Whoo, whoo, mama. Okay, so I think I touched these, and then I went into Space Ripple and defeated whatever was causing all the shenanigans.
Well, that was an experience. At least now the rift anchor, though, can be activated. So, mission accomplished. Partially, I still need to activate more anchors for the monolith where Mary and I want to go. Before I left, I did make sure to loot every nook and cranny in the manor. As per city or settlement or compound, you get a to-do list involving loot, and the main highlight are these mystical chests that glow and they reward you with items or blueprints and many other goodies. For me, the highlight in this case was my first bolt-action sniper, to which I added a mod which ups its damage a bit. These mods come in varying rarities as well, and they can add pretty crazy stuff to your weapons down the line. To end the day, I simply listened in on some spatial theaters of the former residents just chit-chatting. What I didn't expect upon leaving the manor on day 5 is a brand new type of beast.
What in the f*** are you? Oh my dear lord. What the heck is that? You know what? You're not worth my time. This is just a corrupted wolf. Yeah, that'll do it.
Considering I have 3 more anchors to go, I teleported home to make more ammo and calibrate the new sniper, and might as well take the time to secure our new mirror friend. Apparently these can be used to teleport between multiple mirrors, but the one that I would take along is the butterfly, which shows enemy weak spots. Any deviant you take with you can be used with the E key to perform varying actions. I also got a water collection device set up to catch some rainwater, added some mods to my armor, and off I go to the next anchor. And yeah, the town where this one was at stood absolutely no chance against yours truly, so the anchor was completed in a flash. But on my way to the next one, I did pass through Brookham, which looks heavily contaminated. Like, this place ain't normal. I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of fun here later on. The next anchor was in Throwville? I don't know how to pronounce that. But yeah, I managed to activate this one without breaking a sweat. So up next is the one in Citrus County. It's near the manor and has tons of farms around. And yeah, this anchor proved to be no issue at all. So I did notice that this place has a mystic crate, and since I was good on time, I figured I would test out the waters and make quick work of the denizens, and looted a blast gear blueprint. What then caught my attention was a purple stone just floating about, so I went up to the rooftop of the building, and on the way looted an AK, which is pretty sweet. From then, I jumped from the rooftop onto the thing, and that granted me access to a box, and based on the loot, I'll refer to these as currency boxes if I need to later. However, not all the loot in this game is obtained so easily.
Whoa! Oh! Oh! Is that a freaking mimic? What in the heck was that?
I was hesitant to touch the teddy bear, and thankfully it's not a mimic, and toys do serve as a great disassembly item, which I ended up doing back home, and then placed a garage area outside Camp Alpha, unlocked some medical recipes, a synth bench, and at the garage I saw that you can upgrade your bike with better parts. With some gunpowder that I slapped together, I restocked my sniper ammo, and had a visitor come by to admire my camp. No idea who this is, but yeah, after tons of upkeep, which is what I will refer to when I sleep, make ammo, repair, disassemble, etc., decided it's time to head on to the monolith at sunset. I'm as ready as I can be, but it's not the monolith where everything was dead where we're heading. No. Mary wants to meet up at the monolith of greed, which has a big orange beam emanating from the tip. She was waiting for me at this intersection where she congratulates me on a job well done on the anchors, and indeed there is a deviant in this monolith. It reacted each time that I messed with an anchor. So together we will infiltrate the premises and put a stop to its effects on the physical world. Let the raid commence! And I began by scouting out the area with my sniper, but it seemed empty, kind of, so it was only first when I walked into this place confidently, which caused tons of monsters to spawn. So after dealing with the initial wave, I saw that I can use my telekinetic hand on explosive barrels. These will prove to be a very effective improvised weapon, but the enemies here as well are stranger and stronger than we've seen till now.
Oh, dear Lord. Ha ha ha! Good thing I figured that out. Okay, you can stay there. Up here. Deploy, butterfly! Help me! Oh, what? It's like a kraken face! Woo! Okay, wasn't that hard? But he is incredibly terrifying. An Arbiter, I think it was called. Hello? Anybody home? Oh, what in the heck is that? Well, whatever it is, he's dead. Kablooey. Kablamo. Good night. You know, sniping has a very special place in my heart. No pun intended there.
But man, this place was littered with enemies, so much so that this took us into day 6.
I'm not fully sure where I should be going, but I am 100% guaranteed that if I kill everyone here, I will find what I'm supposed to find. So we're just gonna go with that plan. What the heck is this? Awfully peculiarly placed there. And there just happens to be this oil drum. I'm just gonna yeet. Video game literacy 101, baby. It never fails. Absolutely never fails. All that for some roasted berries. Wow. Oh, is that the dude again? Oh, frig. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about that guy too much. He was actually pretty easy. Shush. The fact that there's an enemy up here means there's something to loot up here. Yep, there you go. Like a book. Like a book, baby. Oh, would you look at that? Just another shiny box for Papa. Thank you so much. Oh, is that an anchor? I'm supposed to go that way. Everything's basically respawned by now, but I'm gonna go to that anchor first and see what that does. You know, Mary, you could kind of help. I'm not forcing you to, but it would be really appreciated. You're kind of just freeloading at this point. Okay, so what happens if I do this one? I just get more Stardust and some of that stellar stuff. But I guess that's a good thing. Okay, yeah, one of those things in the left top of my to-do list was marked, so that's great. Just gotta find the mystical crate and continue to explore the monolith of greed. Hi. Oh, not you again. Yeah, nasty. Morphing crate. I know a mimic when I see one. Oh, Mary, you scared the bejeebies out of me. Where's Big, Tall, and Ugly? Where's over there, huh? Okay, so we got his attention. Come here, you. Oh, Mr. Smarty Pants, you made me blow up this barrel in the same process. Okay. Help me, my butterfly. Oh, did you just use your blicky on me? Shush. Oh my gosh. He actually has quite a lot of reach. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, no, if you don't deal with him quick enough, then he does end up being a problem. Like, look at my health. What the heck is that? A little health booster here. Much better. You are one ugly son of a gun. I mean, you look really cool, but dear lord, what happened to you? Oh, you guys actually hurt, like, quite a bit. Yeah, look at that. A couple of those and I'm dead. Up we go then. Let me just clear the path first here. Oh, okay. Is that a teleporter tower? I can activate that out here in the middle of the freaking monolith? I mean, okay, that's a problem. That is a problem and a half. We got another briefcase going. Oh, is that a freaking jellyfish? Alright. Well, either way, it's out of the picture. I gotta clean up the area before I face Mr. Tall and Ugly. There you go. Okay. Got Big, Tall, and Ugly over here. Everything is getting dark and ominous. Fittingly so. It's a level 9. And I have Molotovs. So let's bring out Butterfly. Shoot him. Okay, yeah, look at that. If you hit him where he has those marked things, he's actually like much weaker. You know what? Actually, that's not a problem, and our butterfly's actually not half bad. He holds him down to do it quite easily. You know what? I have nothing to worry about except an ominous door with literal hell inside. My sanity is constantly draining while I'm out here. Let's not think about it too much. Let's just not think about it. Oh, I can't read that. I'm sorry. I do not know what that says. There may be powerful rift entities lurking inside monoliths. Step into the rift and catch a glimpse of the entity's true form. Locate the rift beacon inside the monolith and interact with it to challenge a rift entity. It is recommended to team up first. Okay, well, my team consists of a butterfly made out of paper and Mary, so I'm going to be probably depending on my own capabilities here. But that's fine. That we've managed till now, so I don't see how things could go wrong. Let's just stock up with some ammo. I could walk up to it now, but Mary wants to talk to me. Let's see what she has to say.
You made it. I knew I could count on you.
Oh, yeah, you
You're
could.
quite good at handling deviants, aren't you? I gotta say, you've proven yourself to be a good teammate.
The way she says proven ourselves to be a good teammate, and the fact that V didn't really want to tell you about our friend tells me something ain't right with you. You've been too friendly. And I guess this is what those menu pages were trying to tell me. I guess I can just like prepare stuff before I head on in. And with all that said, I think it's time. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a freaking minute. Okay. I don't have any more sanity pills. Oh, who are you? Oh, I don't know who you are, but good on you. Open the team up interface to team up with other players. Okay, well, who are you, mysterious fella? I think he just got to the point as we did. Do you want to team up? Yeah. You have joined Team OG1X something something. All right, we are buddies up in here. We're gonna do this together. I have no idea who this is, and we're just gonna jump in and have a good time. All right, we're just gonna hop on in. I don't know what this is. I am terrified. Okay, we have a little cutscene here. Hear a lot of scary noises. Who are you? Oh, it's the entity we fought. We just fought like an after image of it in a way, and this is like the real deal. Is this a great one? Oh, that is nasty. In a cool way. Oh gosh. Yeah, we're dead. I'm calling it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, he's rushing in. Okay, hold on. I gotta back him up. You don't seem the kind of guy to move around too much. Yeah, have one of these whammies. There you go. I like them papples. Stupid. Oh. He's weakened. He's in like a down state. Oh, but he still has a lot of health. Are you holding his gun? Seriously? What did you do? I want one of those. Shadow Gatling. Maybe this is not the right time to pick it up, but... Oh, he's immune. Never mind. Eliminate all the spawns first. Where are the spawns? Okay. He's back in. Gonna Molotov his booty cheeks here. You know what? You're doing a really good job, my friend, being a distraction. He dropped the weapon. He dropped it. Oh, okay, he's immune, but that was satisfying for while it lasted. Okay, where's the spawns? Where's the spawns? Eliminate all the... Oh, the spawners. That's what it is. There we go. Time to Molotov you booty cheeks. Ooh! Holy... I think I just went almost down there for a sec. He rocked my world there. Literally. Okay, the head is definitely the weak spot. Oh my gosh, it ricochets! Come on, come on, come on. Oh, ow! Oh my gosh, that hurts. He's almost dead. There we go. Oh, we got him. Oh, we did it. Can we... The festering gel? I think I got it. We did it! Hey, we did it, man! What is this? Cipher thing. Yeah, we got the festering gel and blueprints as well. That's pretty sweet. Ooh, that's a lot of loot right there. Oh, sweet. So that was like the boss chest, that little wobbly thing on top of it. So long, my friend. May we meet again.
With this great one defeated, I waltzed on down to the Greed Chrono Cage, like the area where we woke up in the first place, and by interacting with it, I get warped into a space rift where Mitsuko is waiting for me. It seems like beating the Shadow Hunter caused the fluctuations to calm down, which in turn has Mitsuko gain some strength, and from what she knows, there are a total of 5 Great Ones trapped in monoliths for us to beat before Mitsuko can return to the physical world. We do mention that Mary, a supposed Mayfly, helped us in all of this, which is weird since Rosetta eliminated the Mayflies. V here says that the Great Ones want Mitsuko's power, so again, she must remain a secret. Now back in the physical world, I sniffed out the mystical crate, and on the way activated a teleporter in case I want to come back here to fight the boss, and then pressed on till I finally found it in the final building. There I got an MP5 blueprint, and just for explanation's sake, sometimes you need many of the same BP to fuse them together till you can fully unlock the blueprint. Of the ones that I had, I unlocked them back home and got a new specialization, one to gather more ore at night. So to work off of that, I unlocked an ore detector too, and a bronze pickaxe. And you know what, let's go all in. I unlocked a fuel refinery, advanced ammo, intermediate workbench, water tank, and lastly, some basic defenses. There's a lot that you can unlock and make in this game, so moving forward, I'll simply mention the things that I do end up making, because that is then implied that I unlocked the memetics for it. The tank was placed to store the dirty rainwater that we've slowly been collecting, and then some sandbags were plopped down at the front in case monsters try to break in. As for the festering gel that we got, I synced it up to my cradle, and it seems like that this can be a makeshift wall to protect behind and knocks back enemies. I do wonder though what sort of deviants we'll get down the line to make awesome combos. To end off the day though, I just placed some actual windows in the base. As I awoke on day 7, I looked on out into the distance from atop my balcony and saw an odd red light, so I flew on over with V and ended up approaching the light's location in a swamp when a thick fog set in. These are basically open world minigames for loot.
Be on your guard? What do you mean? Shadow Gatling, this is from the boss I just fought. What do you mean be on your guard? Oh, what? I don't know what, what? Are those giant spiders? Oh, yes! It's confirmed, they are giant spiders. Ah! There's also small spiders. Oh, they're everywhere. Spray and pray, baby, spray and pray! Kill them all! You know, once you get over your actophobia, this is not half bad. Did I win? I think I won. Don't mind if I do. Ooh. New cradle override feature unlocked. What the heck did I just get? I tend to pick stuff up before I actually read them, so, yeah. Oh, I unlocked a mini yellow shirt. Can participate in combat, marking enemies, or summoning tentacles to attack them. That's actually pretty cool.
I continued to explore the world and loot what I could, but just couldn't contain myself from getting into interesting situations.
What the okay. What in the frick is that? Yeah, immune, I would think so. Okay. So, that exists. Oh, did that like weaken him or something? Oh, there's a loot chest inside. So is this like a wandering loot crate? Huh. Well, thank you very much, good sir. Ew. Wait. I didn't get off just yet. I wasn't ready. You spawned some nasties down there, and I guess we're just... Are we just going back from whence I came? You're taking me home, bucko? Alrighty then. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, OnceHumanCrow? Oh. Oh, is this my stop? Is this my stop? Okay, cool. Yeah, that's where you spawn your nasties. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Free rides. This is the future. Free transportation. Bye-bye. Have a great time. Hi, buddy. You know what? I learned how to fight the littler you, and I got my slime with me. So let's see how this goes. We're not doing half bad, actually. You know what? Slime. Fortress mode. Go. Ha 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 ha! Oh, lined up for me, huh? Oh, that's beautiful. Slime, you're doing fantastically. Whatever you're doing, just keep on doing that. Bada bing. Down she goes. That is satisfying. Raid top and a whole lot of other interesting stuff that I have the bad habit of not reading, but this is cool. This is cool. I like this.
Yeah, after all of that, I decided to take on Brookham, the super polluted town, and my goal was to complete the list, but man, oh man, there's just so many engagements. The fighting was constant, let me tell you, and the deeper into town I went, the tenser things became.
Yeah, the big ominous church, that's where the stuff is gonna be that I'm looking for, I can already tell.
The Guardian here was a giant siren, which was taken out swiftly, and inside the church I completed a side quest by finding dead Andy over here, but more importantly, found the mystical chest. Now all that I'm missing is one chest on the list. This had me searching the neighboring graveyard where I rotated the statues to look away from each other. I got a clue for that from one of the gravestones, and this granted me a currency chest, but that's not the one that I'm missing. But my search for the box continued into the next day.
What the heck is that? What in the frick? Yo, I kinda... You're not fighting back. I don't know how to feel about this. Is that seriously the chest I was trying to find this whole time? Okay, so a morphic crate. Got a gingerbread house. What in the heck? Oh, is that a deviant? Seriously? A gingerbread house?
I was searching high and low, even found crocodile eggs and unlocked a teleporter, and then activated a side quest, which was a book treasure hunt to bring them back to the church. But this was great, since in doing so, I noticed a ladder up the side of the church, so up we go to the roof, and there at the tippy top was what I was looking for. Brookham is now completed, and since we got so much loot, I did some upkeep at home and added this yellow shirt deviant to the collection, and then got to harvesting copper. However, note there is fall damage in this game. Your kneecaps will thank me later for that info. After I did some more chores, I was able to place my very own wish machine. It's a place to spend your star crom on some wackalama minigames to unlock blueprints, and I got a ton to start off with, even one for a purple AR and a melee fish weapon. My focus was on the new AR, but to make it at a higher tier, it's going to need bronze ingots, so tin is becoming quite a sought-after item by now. Luckily, I have myself a trusty ore detector, because I plan to go on an expedition for it. But first, I got to boiling all the dirty water so that it's drinkable, and I was then trying to make more storage in preparation for a resource gathering spree, including tin, which is when I found silver ore right outside my house. It must be valuable, so logically I'm going to pick this up wherever I find it. But yes, I did make more storage to end off the day, and to kick off day 9, I did make the AR at tier 1, since, well, it's pretty cool. It's my kind of gun and it applies shock damage. But yeah, here is where a massive resource gathering spree began. As for the entire day, I just focused on gathering wood. I do these sprees often so I can work in peace later without missing supplies. So with all that said and done, day 10 was all about that copper, but I did end up needing to make many more axes for all this grinding that I was doing. And we've only just started. Because on day 11, I was going all out on gravel and sulfur to make sure that glass and ammo later on aren't an issue, and got to say hello to Mr. Bus over on the bridge and did some deer hunting to stock up on cooked meat. Out and about in the early hours of day 12 on my resource grind, I discovered a new area of the map, and right there was the tin ore that I so desperately wanted. And as soon as I whacked the first node, I got an elemental youth deviant, which is a useful little guy, as he mines for you. Also, you can mine shellfish. After almost just exclusively mining tin all day, I later popped back to Camp Alpha and charcoal was made there, along with my first bronze ingots. And no time was wasted to get back to the tin mining operation, which did land me face down on the ground after a biking accident, sure, but yeah. Tin gathering was happening until day's end and straight into day 13. And yeah, that's all that kind of happened till midnight. Just that along with a bit of charcoal crafting, as well as now using bronze pickaxes. 14 was a bit different, as after I repaired and fueled up the old bike here, I went to get supplies at the Dayton hospital, and that was going pretty well, just running and gunning and looting, while doing my best to complete the checklist. And yes, each settlement has pretty much the same objectives, being rift anchors, slaying enemies, and of course opening weapons, gear, and mystical crates. A mini quest here was done as I found a dude named Paul who is seemingly wounded. Turns out him and his partner Kayla were ambushed by vultures while out here scavenging. Vultures are a faction of bandits, by the way. Kayla went to the hospital to look for some medicine for him, but hasn't returned in 2 days, so we gotta look for her. Turns out she got trapped inside because of a wheelchair and didn't make it out alive, but did leave a note telling us to bring meds that she found to Paul to save him. However, by touching the medicine, we end up in a different plane of existence, but still in the hospital. V tells us to skedaddle on out of here ASAP, but that won't be so easy as doors shut on us on their own, and an odd wheelchair appears. Seems like we're dealing with a deviation, and a tricky one at that, as by going through this door, we end up in an infinite loop of hospital rooms. It was first the next day where I realized I just need to call the nurse in order to be discharged, and voila, we're free and are able to trap the culprit, a Rubik's Cube called Space Turner. Back at the real-world hospital, I got to fighting my way across the area to reach Paul, and there completed the mini-quest, and got to claiming the mystical chest, so the hospital is completed. That meant it was time to head on back home to do some upkeep, heal up, unload, and restock. It was first in the evening where I got to head on to my next destination, the Coastside Plaza, which I reached at about midnight. To kick off day 16, I leveled up to level 15 already, but as for what I did, it can be summarized in city completion. Simply doing what's on the to-do list. This is very important since this is a very good way to get blueprints to be able to make better gear, and I enjoy it quite a lot. It's rewarding and not overly complicated. From time to time, there is the hard to find chest, but it's not very stressful. The plaza was completed at around 3 p.m, so my next place to hit up was the Sutherland family orchard not too far from here. So it took no time at all to arrive there, and I just got straight to work, and I do want to say I am mainly looking for blueprints to make my own weapons, since you can't repair looted weapons since you are not the owner. And yeah, it took me way too long to find the first chest. It was already the evening hours when I found my first one. The city completion continued into the next day, and I found that you can loot recipes for different tiers of food, like this yummy borscht over here. It's one of my favorite dishes. And after clearing out the area of all of the denizens and stripping every piece of loot straight into my inventory, got to completing all of the chests and the anchor, so the orchard is complete. While restocking back at home for more of these smelt in order to make more gunpowder for more ammo, and I sure am glad that I did that whole resource grinding arc early on. On the map, I did spot a moving truck called Cargo Scuffle, so curiosity got a hold of me as I went straight to it. Turns out it's an armored truck with no driver, but a deviant in the back. Logically, I filled it with lead till it crashed, which is when a jellyfish popped out and latched onto my freaking head. Fearing for my life, I drove off into the distance, hoping it would detach, but I would later realize that that jelly was going to become my best friend. My escape led me to a new mini-quest called Dreams of the Abandoned Garden. In short, a shadow figure with consciousness appears of someone named Anne Sutherland, who needs her memories pieced back together, it seems. Apparently that's done by destroying everything from the Sutherland family. Okay then, turns out the fruits here are contaminated, says V, so bada bing, bada boom, and presto, arson. But that's not all. I go down to the cellar fighting through monsters till I saw a spatial theater of people talking. Turns out Rosetta wanted some of the land here to build a new monolith and to discuss future plans for Nalcott. That is the island that we play on. Seems like everything was on board to accept Rosetta's offer, but Anne not so much since her uncle wasn't present and he's sick and she just kinda isn't feeling it. Later in a different building, in a different spatial theater, I listen in on that the fruits no longer are good because of the monolith out in the west, causing a financial loss for the family, sure, but the people were still happy about Rosetta building the monolith on their land as it produces unlimited energy. If only they knew what was inside. Some old belongings here were picked up and brought back to Anne. Maybe this will jog her memory, is what I thought to myself, but she then just spoke in odd riddles which I'm too dumb to understand. Something about past, future, and present. So I took the items to Claire at her shop. We do tell her of what happened to her team in the manor from a few days back, so yeah. After that whole ordeal and her team being dead, she feels like she might just move shop to the Broken Delta for a while. And as for the items that we brought her, she bought them off of us, so that's the mini quest complete. I was on my way to Overlook Town to complete it, but on the way, found a pilgrim on the side of the road who mentioned he's from a place called Mayor's Market and is searching for a miracle which supposedly is located on a beach to the north of a cove. We'll deal with that in time. For now, I spent quite some time in Overlook Town and checked everything off the list. It did have this giant siren patrolling the area, but once you know how to deal with them, they're pretty manageable. That let me, in peace, check out this stage where a new deviant was secured, a paper figure, which works as a cleanup personnel for your base and gives you items. Finding the remaining items took quite a while, so much so that it was already dark out when the settlement was completed. So upkeep was all that was done until day's end, and that allowed me on day 19 to set out to take on Throuville, which was very straightforward. The sun had barely come out and I was already done here. This left me with a lot of time to do some side quests, so for most of the day I was knocking out one about some bloodstained diaries until dusk set in, which is when I went to pursue the divine property quest from that pilgrim to steal his miracle. As soon as it was full night, a statue appeared along with a chest, but it needs a key. At this point in time, I didn't know that unlocking it was very simple. I just had to read a little bit of the quest description. Don't worry, we'll be back to complete this later. So for day 20, I was finishing up the other side quest with the diaries when a disco party popped out of thin air in the middle of town. Very likely this is caused by a deviant that's making these humanoids hypnotized in an eternal rave, but for now, I just couldn't figure out how to uncover the mystery of the magical disco ball. So once the diary quest was completed, I did upkeep for a very long time, and then did a short quest involving harvesting some crops, which I had to deposit to complete it, which involved a bit of a math puzzle, which was kind of fun, honestly. Had to jog my brain there for a little bit. But back to the miracle quest. The sun was setting and I finally knew what I had to do. Since a pilgrim was trying to get to it all along, I just had to use the plead emote in front of it, and just like that, the loot is ours. It was so simple that it was almost complicated. 21 had me getting more blueprints from the wish machine, leveling up to 17 from making bronze ingots, checking high tier crafting, and saw that I need to get beryllium from higher level settlements, and then contained more of my deviants. And heads up, for when y'all play, be smarter than me. It took me really long to realize that deviants have likes and dislikes which affect their performance, things like light color, power levels, temperatures, and so on. So yeah, you gotta keep them happy. After calibrating my AR to improve its stats, I set out to town to continue the story quests. Once there, I spoke to Samuel about that I beat the Great One known as the Hunter, although gotta say this dude truly only wants more deviants for his collections. Inside the building here, I did find notes from Mary. Seems like she's headed to the Broken Delta like the merchant, and we are to go to the Mayor's Market, the place where the pilgrim was from, and there ask for info on deviants that she's hunting. Alrighty, on the road we go, and make a quick stop to retry that jellyfish truck event. Turns out the jellyfish is fine, and when you have it on you, you get sproutlets, which is a very important type of currency. But I imagine this makes more sense when many people are competing for the jellyfish, since I could just chill out all the way till it was done and got all the available sproutlets for myself. Plus, got a polar jelly of my own. Later in the day, I did arrive at Mayor's Market. Its function is the same as the other safe haven, and here at the entrance, a guard is hesitant to let us in, but relaxes when he notices that we are a mayfly, which is when the mayor, named Maxi Rodriguez, lets us in. She's also got a deviant problem for us to solve, likely the one that Mary is hunting. For the past half year, all pregnant living beings turn into trees, and the only lead that we have is to check out an abandoned hideout that's a bit further out. At this point of the story, we do unlock the first of many Cradle Override slots, which are slots that unlock the more bosses and challenges you beat, that let you add varying buffs to your build, all the way from basic weapon improvements to better healing to more elemental damage and so on. Also, this bounty board is going to come in handy later on as it gives you tasks to get rewards, and with that lots of energy link. And as for the shops, Nisa, the one that stands out like a sore thumb, accepts the currency from the jellyfish event in exchange for really amazing mods. Lo is here too. He's kind of everywhere where merchants are, and gives us leads on 2 deviants, a dragon that's going to need some kind of food, and one in the mudlands surrounded by fog. But this place has more and more surprises.
Holy moly, what did I walk in on? Do they have a deviant that's an infinite money printer, or what the heck?
Since we're in the area where we found tin, I got a ton gathered up and smelted back home, synced up to my new bestie, the Jelly, and was taken aback by our Tin Man.
What are you doing? That's my floor. I know your name is Elemental Youth and you're just brimming with teen spirit to get to work, but what? You're giving me iron ore? Hello? Broski Woski, you might be my new favorite. There it is. I guess we unlocked the Iron Age, thanks to our little man over here.
One thing that I was looking forward to was to make a larger vehicle, like a truck that I learned, but I am far from getting those high tier supplies, but here's to hoping that we can make it later on. For now, I just upgraded the bike for more durability, added more armor mods, for it's time to check out that hideout. On the way, I was sure to test the Jelly to know exactly what I was dealing with.
Wait, did the jellyfish literally one-shot it? Broski. Nice.
Turns out the hideout is a man-made tunnel filled with enemies, so I had to press through a few rooms till I found a note from someone named Brianna. From what I can tell, she wanted immortality, gifted from a Great One, which ended up turning them into a tree. That might be where all of this started. Also, I realized this is a makeshift hospital of sorts. Kinda sets the mood of the tragedy that happened here, especially since the tree of Brianna is right there. And like last time, of course, I just had to poke it, which warped me into a pocket dimension. It's the same tunnel, but there's this tree statue just standing here. Upon leaving the front entrance, I was shocked to see the distorted reality that we find ourselves in. To advance, I had to cross these root bridges while fending off giant worms with these pus-like weak spots. As I was gliding to a platform, I saw a spatial theater open up that I wanted to listen to, but I lagged and then fell to my doom, so a little bit of context on that one is lost, but I can just respawn and continue. All that I got was that Brianna found a magical book that made her feel at peace ever since Paul left. The next theater was of Maxi and Brianna. Maxi wants to help Brianna with her baby, but she's just stubborn and insists that she can handle everything solo. As for the final theater, we see a group of people, and Brianna is begging for mercy as somebody named Brad exiles her for something that she did. Maxie speaks up to defend Brianna, but Benjamin mentioned that the book that she's hiding is from vultures, which is used to worship rift entities. Well, I'm guessing the book stirred up a great one, and to stop this madness, we gotta beat it. And the shadow version of it was just lying in wait for us.
Okay, well, you're not... I was about to say you're not doing much, but that I stand corrected. Go, Jelly, go! Alright, it's not too strong. If I remember how it was the last time... Oh, he hits hard. He has a ground thing that you gotta dodge. I see. Here, go. Go, Jelly, go! That's actually really nice damage when it actually lands. Oh, look at that tick damage! Jelly is amazing, but he's got these puff things of his own. Whoop! Yeah, not touch it. You know what? Tree is in your name. Have one of these. I got a whole lot of these. Oh, he has a laser. I repeat, he has a laser, and that just shot me down so fast. Critically injure. Use adrenaline shot. Oh, okay. Okay, heal quickly. Jelly is almost ready. Oh, here comes the big one. Oh, I think I dodged that one. I think I did it right that time. Gun ya down, ya big oak. Down ya go. Victory at long last, bucko. Now, this is like, I think, the image version. I don't know if this is like the full version. But it kicked me out of that vision like super fast. Yeah, I definitely don't think that that was the full version, because it just brought me back here instead of like, you know, like, oh, look at this loot or look at this deviant. That definitely was not the full version. Shut up.
Alrighty then, that's our new target, and like the last great one, we need to activate some rift anchors in the area while doing some looting on the way. After a long drive up a mountainside, we reach a town called High Bank, and it's a lovely spot, a very nice settlement, but the residents, well, not so much. At least the anchor here provides a beautiful view while activating it. Next up is one at Harst Industries that I glided towards a long distance, and there saw that it was an industrial plant with monsters covered in plastic sheets, but hey, they die like any other, so it's fine. The anchor proved to be no issue, and I decided to stay to loot here in hopes to get beryllium. What I ended up getting though was a new deviant, this flaming toad that at base can improve your smelting times, which is perfect. At night during an upkeep session, I got to making a tier 2 AR, max calibrated it, along with making a tier 2 pair of scout shoes and a tier 2 blast helmet, both of which were also calibrated for better defense. However, all set pieces provide bonuses to you, and by losing more of my raid gear, I'm losing resource gathering related buffs, but that's fine for now. I'll just put on the raid set when I'm gathering. Right now on day 23, I'm more so focused on the anchor in Harbor Town.
Hold on. Are you... Are you okay? You know what? Do your thing. Do your thing.
By following the train tracks, I eventually reached the town, which was largely flooded. The anchor was unprotected, but not the houses I wanted to loot. There's some more of these mutated crocodiles. Feels like I'm in a future version of Florida, but yeah, we can swim, which is nice, and after getting a few crates here and there, I checked my map and couldn't see the final anchor needed, so I went to a large complex further out west, which happens to be the direction of the next monolith. This place is called the Sutherland Chemical Plant. The main road that passed through it wasn't too cluttered, so we got through and at the end by the water activated the last anchor, so over in the distance, that Gaia monolith is ready to be raided. But first, might as well loot this area, and it was worth sticking around as after solving a simple jumping puzzle, I got some sick loot at the end. The only issue was the elite that I faced on my way out. I would have perished here if it wasn't for Jelly. With the chemical plant now completed, I got home to make the new gear that I unlocked. This meant tier 2 upgrades, being a scout hood and a blast jacket, along with a pair of pants and gloves. And can't forget I got an intermediate workbench down as well. The new blast gear ups melee potential, and the 2 scout pieces upped HP and damage, so I added mods accordingly, and then just did upkeep all day in preparation for tomorrow, as day 24 was the day that we would face the entity in the Gaia monolith. Nervous, a little bit, yes, I'll admit, but I'm sure it'll all be fine. What's different about this one though is that it has active Rosetta guards blocking my path, so I proceeded with caution.
Are you guys good? Nope. Okay, no, you're not good. You're not good.
After fighting my way up through some checkpoints, I got to this here tunnel, and upon entering, I slayed some more soldiers and noticed familiar roots from my last encounter with this entity. We must be getting close, and the soldiers are getting feistier. Some got attack drones, but the cool thing is that all this fighting got me to level 20. With this section cleared, I hesitantly went deeper down along a route pathway to a core-like area, but there was just an anchor here, so back out I go through a different exit, only to face more waves of more soldiers, and even had to clear out a whole new cliffside compound. Thank goodness you can take with so much ammo, because just one of these heavy soldiers take a ton to go down. With this area cleared, I got the checklist completed. Was happy to see that at some point I got a good sniper blueprint, just what I've been wanting. But now it's time to enter the main event, the Monolith of the Treant, and put a stop to its effects on the physical world.
Okay, so if we're going based off of that other dimensional encounter we had, things weren't looking too good for us, but we managed. And I have a feeling this is going to be much difficult. Let me just look at this guy. But yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We are level 20. It is recommended 2 players, but I'm sure we'll be fine. We got the jelly. It's not going to be a problem. It's going to be totally fine. And I just now realized you can actually fight these on harder difficulties, which adds such a layer to all the boss fights. But we're going to go with normal for now. That seems like a good idea. All right. We are in the sewers of hell. Sounds about right. And I gotta say, I like that we were able to fight that sort of, initial version of them in that other dimension, because at least that way you can learn the mechanics before you actually face the real deal. That has to be a little bit calm. Like, that fact alone is really nice. Get a little bit of practice in before you get your booty stomped. And okay, here's the cutscene that's gonna strike fear into our very being. What am I even looking at? The roots just reach into the skies above, like Jack and the Beanstalk over here. Ominous roaring is always good while watching a statue of a mom holding a child. Yeah, that doesn't terrify me at all. And there it is. The Treant. It is huge. Oh, dear Lord, this is gonna hurt. I just gotta stay close to the vents to jump into the sky when needed. Okay, so he has plant summons now. That's cool. Oh, snap. All right, we're in it to win it. Treant level 15. That's higher level than it. Here, go for it, the hole. Why are you immune? Oh, we gotta kill the tentacles first. Oh, why are there so many? The statue is actually in him. That's actually really neat. I like that. Hi, mama. Okay, that obviously up there is his weak spot. Oh, yeah, we're dealing heavy damage by hammering into him there. Go, Jelly, go! Oh, that is juicy! Oh, look at how much damage Jelly did. It's at half health now. Jelly is freaking amazing. All I have to do is watch my step here. Can I kill it? Oh. Oh, Jelly did it. Let's go, Jelly. Absolutely the MVP. I had nothing to worry about. Easy squeezy. Oh, what do we got here? Harv seed. Obtained. Okay. And then finally the treasure chest. As for the actual loot, got some weapons there. Got some blue gear mods, which is a first. But that's awesome. I'm so relieved. I was actually nervous there for a sec, but if this would be higher difficulty, then I would definitely have needed some backup. But I do got Jelly, though. So, that's all I'm ever gonna need.
Just like last time, I checked on the Gaia Chrono Chamber below to talk to Mitsuko. We thankfully stopped the Transcendent Deviation before it laid waste to the Delta. We also updated her on the happenings in the physical world, and she does blame herself for a lot of the happenings, like the fact that all the Mayflies died to Rosetta. But we will rebuild the Mayflies, I'm sure of it. And if we clear up more of the Stardust by beating bosses, she might be able to come over to the physical world. As a reward, we are gifted more mimetics, which means we have a new override slot in the cradle. As for the next boss, all I know is that its name is Araxium, and that name immediately signals to me that it's going to be a giant spider. We must get the Flammenwerfer ASAP. Also, if you have a look here, blue mods means higher tier, so good stuff. I arrived home at night and checked out the Harv seed that I got, This little guy is crucial as it makes an item to make living armor potions for more HP. And we can't forget about this new tier 2 sniper, which conveniently has a chance to burn. Also note that mods can be upgraded with items gotten from dismantling some of them, but it's kind of random, it's more so re-rolling the stats on it. The next day I reported all that happened to Maxie, and all she can do is hope that Brianna is now at peace, and with that rewards us for a job completed. This is when, as if on cue, Mary called me up and told me to head on west to a place called the Gaia Ruins. Okie dokie. As for this odd fellow among the merchants, he accepts stellar plenula, which is a currency you get from many chests, and sells weapon attachments, so I bought a light front grip. I really like the fact that the weapons are customizable and that you only need to buy each attachment once from what I could tell. Here's where I think that the main storyline splits up a bit, as the line to beat the monolith bosses wants me to go north to the realm of nightmares once I'm level 23, but Mary asked me to go west, so that's what I'm gonna do. So along the lonely road we rode, till I found this here minigame. These are very cool, and I hit these up whenever I could, as they unlock free weapon attachments and currencies. They're pretty simple, so I never miss doing them. After passing a settlement of vultures that fired upon me on sight, I still had a very long drive to go, so I did some sightseeing here and there until I met her at this big satellite. This giant Rosetta Base's research center used to study deviations, and maybe those from the monoliths originated here. What she's here for is classified information and wants us to infiltrate, as fighting isn't really her thing. Good thing that is our specialty, and Jelly here is proving to be a powerful ally indeed for this task. Plus, this new fire sniper I made is proving to be very effective as well. Inside the main building, I found intel that apparently this place was attacked by metahumans, and it's confirmed that some commander named Ames has betrayed Rosetta. But all the members here are part of the Advent sect, so the ones attacking must be the evolutionists that we heard about before. Once I was outside, I saw a pile of documents being burned so that the attacking evolutionists couldn't get to it, which is strange since that must mean the attack is happening like right now or just recently, or am I the evolutionist? The most I got out of these documents was that there's a monolith of thirst to the west and a monolith of nightmares to the north. Noted. So after dealing with more heavy units as well as completing the entire to-do list, I found one last file. No one knows the whereabouts of Mr. Ames for the past 36 hours after visiting the headquarters. Likely he has been killed, but another person named Ames, the commander of the Nalcott base, is a prime suspect. Seems like some family drama is going on. This issue caused a conflict within the evolutionists group, leaving the Advent sect some time to rebuild itself. They really don't like each other by the sounds of things. As for me, all that was left to do was to leave the research base to the east, and with that done, I reported back to Mary on day 26. We relay the info to her, and all she has to say is that if either faction has their way, it will result in people suffering through hell. She's got some info on Rosetta's internal structure from some mayflies, and she'll send it over soon, and our investigation into Rosetta will continue later on. This quest line also wants to lead me north now, so that's where we will be heading, which was fantastic, as after a long drive and passing through this natural tunnel, we get to a new area of the map. It's a forest, and thankfully, this place has iron ore, the next step to our gear progression, so I was stoked to get some. Further up the road was an infested refinery, and from here I could hear a robot voice calling for help. So after some combat, I reached this container building, inside which was a bot named H37. It's chill and very happy that we are saving it. Apparently it's from a survivor settlement called Greywater and invites us to visit. How nice. But we'll get there eventually. For now, I was looting and shooting for a good long while since I was getting amazing loot like crystals needed for better crafting. But new areas also means new monsters.
Yeah, that's not ominous at all. What in the you know what? I'm not even gonna ask. There you go. There you go. That attaboy, Jelly. Attaboy. Oh. Fine. I'll help you out. Thank you, Jelly.
Also, we got this gas tank bug over here, which is basically just a mobile bomb, if you will. But with my info now full, I teleported back home for upkeep, and with the supplies, I got to make an intermediate gear workbench, which lets me make weapons up to tier 4 out of 5, and I can already tell that even tier 3 is going to make me need a lot of steel ingots. So in anticipation of a resource grind, I revved up charcoal production. I also got some bricks made, some fuses. Froggy here helped to smelt the new steel ingots, and then got to place a solar panel to power this here fluorescent light. So now that I can see, I placed some decor items here and there to liven up Camp Alpha, and now that the steel is ready, got me a trusty steel pickaxe. And with it, I began a resource spree on day 27, as I slapped on my raid gear and focused on wood chopping and coal burning all day long. And all that charcoal allowed me for day 28 to go all out on iron mining and smelting. But there were some highlights here and there, like a morphic crate that when taken out got us some currencies, some boars that served as some good eating, some star ore that to this day I'm unsure what it does, and a leopard which didn't live to tell the tale, and I haven't come across another one for the rest of the video, so I guess they're pretty rare. As for day 29, almost the whole day was just more iron processing. Only later in the day did I direct my focus on city clearing, starting to get to work on high banks by getting the mystical crate. So logically, I was still here on day 30 to complete the list while also accepting some side quests, but man, this place took forever to clear. By the time I had looted all the remaining chests to complete high banks, it was already 9 PM, so I just activated a teleporter nearby, poofed on home, and by now was just happy to see that I was level 25. Hearst Industries was designated to be completed on day 31, and ended up fighting this big boy elite that is quite the adversary and somehow clings to life with his robo head separated from his body. So yeah, that will haunt me for a while. Besides that, I activated 2 power generators, which let me move this giant smelter across the room to reach some good chests. The sewers were a prime looting spot too, but it's not safe here. There are these wall lips with bad breath you need to watch out for. A second fire frog was caught, and the mystical chest collected, so this place is completed, but still there's so much loot that's still lying around, so I stayed here till midnight. So on day 32, I think y'all already have a hang of city completion by now. It's the list and some upkeep. So the Oceanside, a Wild Dog Isle outpost was cleared this day. It's a Rosetta base with a lovely view from the lighthouse, and the list was ticked off no problem and completed with the anchor at day's end. And this process was the same for Harborside the day after. Did it all to wrap it up at day's end too. So 34, same Z's for the Sunsbury Middle School. It's got tons of vultures who are clever enough to place claymores, so better watch our step. But I gotta say, it does hurt to take down enemies wearing Plague Doctor masks. My people. As for the highlights, I got a new deviant, which is this voodoo doll here that makes enemies take the damage that you take. But yeah, a few houses here and there, and presto, this place is done, and I hopped straight to clear Sunbury Town. Which took me into day 35, where I did meet my end to this bomb dude, but it's okay, it's not too punishing, you don't lose all that much and get enough time to get your dropped items back. Today's highlights is a Chephosaurus Rex in the kitchen, likely the dragon deviant that Samuel mentioned. It wanted food, which I did give it, but it wasn't happy with it, so I guess I need better recipes to make good food to bring him later. Once this place was cleared, close to 2 PM, I went back for some upkeep, and then got straight to Railway City for more of the same. I arrived there the next morning. This one is a massive train station with some big old tanks of sorts. But as big as this area is, I did complete it rather quickly around midday. So let's just keep it going. Highland City is up next, which is by all means and purposes a normal town aside of the bandits. The best thing I got from this was a samurai deviant called Total Annihilation that I look forward to testing out later. This town was checked off on day 37, so at this teleporter tower, I returned back home, did some upkeep, and out I go again towards Junkyard, which is another train yard, but with heavy pollution and Rosetta personnel. And with some rootin' and shootin', this place was officially done and dusted on day 38. So I got a few morphic crates looted up in the area, unlocked some more teleporters, and then chopped wood till the midnight hours struck. Okie dokie, day 39, and it's time to reap the fruits of my labor since I got blueprints and supplies to make better gear, which ended up in the form of a tier 3 icebreaker LMG for constant firing and frost damage in order to combo with jelly, because jelly increases my frost damage as well. I even got this max calibrated. As for new specializations, I unlocked a portable updraft, which will become very useful later on. I just couldn't make it at this time. And remember the one refinery by the metal that I never finished a few days ago? Well, that was my goal at the moment, but stopped for a jumping puzzle minigame to get a scope for my LMG, which was perfect. Once at my destination, I snapped on through it, obliterating new enemies like the drill head here, who looks pretty sick, but yeah, not long after, I checked this place off fully and then made my way to the next safe haven, that being Greywater. And on the way, I could already see the Monolith of Nightmares in the distance. This town is quite big, and Samuel, of course, is here too, and gives us a hint on a new deviant that has been causing some disappearances, which are correlated to stuffed alpacas, oddly enough. The shops are all at the top of this hill, which is also where Mayor Hotdog is. He does thank us for saving the little robot at the refinery, but we have very urgent matters to discuss. something is affecting the townspeople's sleep. And by that I mean giving them constant nightmares, frequently, of spiders that can shapeshift. Oh boy, fun. Not just that, but the affected people are also going missing. The only place that we know to check is the nearby hospital, since that place also appears in people's dreams quite often. Now, all that is urgent. Yes, fully agree. People shouldn't be dying to interdimensional spiders. But I want a new base location, so I just explored the region for a place to call my permanent home, and this led me so far north that I ended up in a desert area where there is tons of ore, so that might seem like a good base location, but there's no trees for wood except for this ginormous one that I'm pretty sure I can't chop. So it was first further south where the desert and forest met, where I decided to settle down. And what's so convenient is that you can move your whole base with the click of a button with no time or items lost. This will be known as Base Beta, which got a territory size upgrade, so we have room to expand. All the charcoal that I had was used to pump out bricks, since this one's gonna be sturdy, and the elemental youth is loving this place, let me tell you. Till day's end, all I did was just the initial steps of the base expansion, which lasted into day 40, and once I was quite far in, I noticed that it's starting to look a lot like a church. And honestly, the building was going quite fast and I was having a really good time with the whole process. Plus, I was gifted the items needed to customize my character, so I spent a long time making my dude exactly the way I wanted him, since dear lord, there's lots of options. So here's my dude, with a brand spanking new makeover. 41 was more about that building grind, and I got to make this nice balcony with a pretty view to the northern mountains, and worked on the top floor, which would be for all of my deviant friends, plus got to unlocking even more blueprints. As for day 42 though, I noticed that I messed up the tower part. It wasn't symmetrical, so a large portion needed to be torn down and made anew, which took its sweet time. But by day 43 it was corrected and all set up. But here I faced the most difficult challenge of the build, making a roof for the tower based on the shape that I made. And holy moly, I had to rack my brain on this one. No joke, the whole day was just spent trying to find a combination, a solution to this conundrum, which was first sorted on day 44. It's a bit of a wonky double roof, but it works, and I was stressing out, but you know, it's good enough. So all that's left is to organize the interior, place some more solar panels to power everything, and hooked up some cables to a new fuel refiner.
Okay, so the house is kind of done. It's not perfect, as you can tell. There's some mistakes here and there, but that's fine. It's functional and kind of cool, and that does it for me. So we have a little garage area with all of our outdoor facility with fuel refinement and water collection and power generation. And if we go through the front door over here, got a little roof where I plan to put on some auto turrets for protection, just in case we get attacked by some monsters. And if we go through our front door here, we have our storage section with access to the outdoor section. Plus, we got all of our crafting needs at intermediate level. We got 3 furnaces up and ready to go. Can't forget about the gambling section there either, now can we? And a little nook here for cooking, kind of decorated a little bit with what I had. The old tables, in case I ever need them, they're there. If we go down this way, it's a little bit of a sleeping area. I totally forgot to make a bedroom, so I just kind of threw everything down here. This bedroom area does also have access to the outdoorsy area with a motorcycle and its own personal balcony right here. Its own chair where you can just chill out, relax, have a beautiful view of the scenery, the canyons, and some snow mountains in the back. As for this door, I do plan to make another garage over here, sort of a floating one for my pickup. However, that project is a little bit on hold for now because I kind of messed that up. Moving on though, if we go up the stairs from the general crafting area, we reach a little bit of a intersection with doors that simply lead outside to some balconies where, again, I hope to place some auto turrets for defense. Because I do believe I remember that your base could get attacked. I'm not sure if I'm mistaken, but for PvP, that might be interesting. Then we have the top floor, where we have most of our deviants collected. I recently placed down this samurai-looking dude that I do want to test out later on. And I do want to place more containment units, but I'm not allowed to. This is my max, so I'll see if I could actually expand with this area some more later. And then here's kind of the cherry on top, which totally didn't end up the way I wanted it to, but it kind of works. It's like a roof mixed with a roof. And we're just going to call it modern, and that way we have an excuse for it to actually be acceptable and, you know, just sort of give it the seal of approval. It's kind of okay. We got some balconies, again, for some viewage, and who knows, I might get a lot of decor items to make like a party area here, just to make things all nice and schmancy. I will just ignore this opening here that for the life of me I can't close no matter what setup I do. But either way, that's the house. I'm kind of happy with it because this is probably the biggest base I have ever made in any 100 days I have ever made, at least solo. And I'm happy with it. The fact that this game can make me, of all people, makes something that's acceptable, that says a lot about the building mechanics. I'm actually very pleased with it, and I've only scraped the surface.
Okay, dokie. Now that we're all settled in, it's time to handle Hot Dog's request to check out that hospital, but seems like Rosetta Troops beat me to it. But we're very much so on the right track since there's weird growths on the wall, and the spatial theater here showed a dude came here because his dad told him to meet someone, but no one was here. Maybe he became the human body wrapped in spiderweb, which is more than enough for me to know that we are in for some trouble. The next theater was from some people that came here as they intended to loot this place since one of them dreamed of lots of supplies being here, but slowly they were being picked off. After fighting through spiderlings left and right, I found the final theater of 2 researchers, but slowly they were losing their memories, so this place has got some real bad energy going on, and that feeling was reinforced as I heard a woman singing Itsy Bitsy Spider in Chinese. That there is enough for the hair on my neck to stand straight up, especially since there's this pulsating spider nest with corpses looking all nasty like, and yes, we do gotta touch it, which means it's warping time to a new pocket dimension.
Hello, mamacita. So, I knew we were gonna face the spider, but dear lord, you are more terrifying than I thought you'd be, and why are you on top of me? Oh, okay, we're fighting. Okay, I thought you were gonna say something. We're just getting straight into it. You got it, mama. Okay, you know what? I got just the thing for you, and it's my boy. It's my boy, Jilly. There you go. How you like them papples? What's the weak spot? Just the head? Or the chest by the rib cage? Who needs to reload when your magazine is infinite, am I right? There we go. Now she's standing on jelly. Getting that sweet pulse damage in. Oh, what the heck did I see there at the back end? Oh my goodness. Either way, we win. So now we know what the next boss is gonna look like. That's not terrifying at all.
Alrighty, y'all know the drill, my lovelies. After fighting our way through Rosetta, it's time to complete the anchors for this monolith. And after doing the one in East Blackfell, I was surprised to see that I only needed to do 2 more. At least I'd be heading west to check those off, but I can't resist a few chests on the way now, can I?
Oh, what the heck? I can barely see it, but I imagine that's loot inside. Go, Jelly! Oh, whoa! Whoa, it has psychic damage. What in the frick? Oh! Oh my gosh, that hurts so much. Ow. Nice. Managed to dodge that one. Let's just heal this real quick. Okay, so he has an up top, and he has a down bottom. Ah! That's the up top. Whoop! Oh, missed. I missed. He did a double. You know what? I got something for you, booty. Here. Nade out! Oh, that still hurt. The frost tick damage is real nice. Oh! I spoke too soon. I'm out of ammo. Oh, panicked with the sniper, but it came in handy.
Thank you for the loot right there. Moving on. I reached the Greywater Industrial Zone later in the day and got the anchor activated at about midnight and all easy peasy like. But during all the looting that was happening on day 45, I noticed that I got a blueprint for grill gloves which help with burn damage, but notice how it sparkles. That's because this is a key item. They provide unique buffs, but you can only have 1 key item equipped at a time. For now, I did end up making it at tier 3, and I really wanted to combo it with a fire shotgun to fight the spider boss, but we're going to need more energy link for that plan. Wanting to get a ton of that, I noticed something called a Prime War on the map, so I equipped my Samurai Deviants and went to check it out, but turns out this is like a mass raid event of sorts for tons of players, so me being solo, I can't participate, but it does seem to have cool loot for anyone who does complete these. Continuing on with the anchors, there are two super close to me, but this security point was tough. I went down into the underground section and was outgunned by the troops here. That mechanic is one tough nut, but at least up on top, the base was kind of easier.
I want to use my samurai, but he's not working. Wait. Oh, he's there. Oh, he's doing his job. Oh, he like phases in and out. He's like a full-fledged dude. Nice. Okay, so he does work.
By using a keycard I looted, I got to 2 of the main chests, which was nice, but I was struggling to get to those anchors. I just couldn't figure it out this day, so I went down again, spent an eternity and a half to beat that mechanic, but there was no path to the anchors in question here either. And by now all the enemies up top had respawned, so I just went on home because I was encumbered. Once unloaded, I made my way to my neighboring town called Alkirk. It was an in and out operation for this anchor at least, so that's nice. So with some time to kill, I looted the area in hopes to find some energy link, and then went home to continue perfecting my fire and ice build to face Araxium. Starting with a dual Fury fire shotgun that I wanted to make, at tier 3 by the way. It does burn me a little bit in the process, sure, but it does a good amount of it back comboed with these gloves. And conveniently, mixing frost and fire is no issue at all because the override perks that buff one also buff the other, so it's all good. I then began the process of trying to make a whole tier 3 set, but ran out of energy link yet again, and I really want a set of tier 3 because it's important since high tier mods with all of their perks is kind of useless on low tier pieces of gear since you only get the number of perks of the mod as the tier of the item that it's equipped to. I did test out the new double barrel on day 46 on these wolves here, and I was very pleased with the results, even though it's not fully calibrated yet, but to do that, again, I need more energy links, so I had an idea. I checked the commission board in Greywater, and all of these reward you with a ton, so I selected 5 to get started grinding them out. Also, I got a deviant house cat, but it's kinda meh. The cooler thing that I got here was an infrared indicator for the LMG to improve its stats further. I also hit up the deviant side quest that Samuel gave me, the one with the stuffed alpacas, and it's at the souvenir shop which has tons of plushies inside, and turns out the culprit was just a gingerbread house, but I do learn here that it gives you items to make shape-shifting cookies, so technically you could play prop hunt in this game. After spending a bit more time in Greywater accepting more side quests, I ended up doing one at this house that has dolls inside, and it was pretty straightforward, just had to talk to him a bit and bada bing bada boom, end chest. The shotgun was then calibrated to 4 out of 7, and that's when I ran out of energy again. Before I would go do more commissions, I did make a synthesis bench, some activators for healing, and check my recipes. The borscht that we learned does improve energy link gain, but needs a rare ingredient called morels that can only be gotten from harvesting plants that are not in the wild. The activators that I made were for a commission to use a few, so after spamming them, I completed that one, gaining a hefty amount of this in the process, so it's a start. As for the morels, I began to set up a farm next to the motorcycle, got a compost replaced, and my first plot, but I had so much to check as to what seeds and fertilizer and water to use that I first at midnight had planted a pepper plant. Watering it was simple enough the next day, so I got some wheat as well as mushrooms going. With all that growing, I decided to make a quick visit to Mary, who is at this warehouse in Greywater. She says that she found something interesting and that we're going to want to see it for ourselves. There's a bunker nearby with an unusual lock that can only be opened with a cradle, so it must have belonged to the mayflies, we think, so she marks the area on the map. It wasn't all that far away, and Mary is already there, so together we make our way in. This had me fighting some corrupted vultures till I found Mary again in a control room that seems to have been an old mayfly command post. This is when an alarm goes off. Apparently some vultures have arrived with interests of their own in this place, so it's up to us to hold them off to buy Mary some time for her to investigate the data here. This task was simple enough, it was just slay 10 enemies, so it was done in a jiffy. That was enough time for Mary to figure out that in the past, an important mayfly operation was orchestrated from here. They raided a Rosetta base, but were outnumbered and wiped out ultimately, which coincides when they disappeared. It's just odd that they dug their own graves. They must have attacked the place as an emergency. That's about everything that we figured out here, and the quest line continues, but at a higher recommended level, so it's time for more commissions, starting with my first silo, which essentially is a dungeon. These can be ran in different difficulties and with players, and we find this television-headed dude named T-Man at the front. He speaks poetically and knows of us, but we've never met. This is when he reminds us that we do have amnesia from when we woke up. From what I can tell, this dude gives you, like, bounties like mini quests or something related to the silos. As for this silo named Sigma, I ran it on normal difficulty. This one is themed after a Rosetta underground facility. I say this since the silos can have different styles and enemies, and the goal is always to loot as much as you can and beat the final boss, but note that different difficulties can add varying mechanics to the silo. Also, I'm level 31 by now. On day 48, I met the boss, but Jelly here absolutely decimated the poor fool, granting us a victory and final loot like weapons, some good mods, Stardust Source, and Energy Link. I do gotta do one more to complete the commissions related to silos, plus land more kills with my deviants, so I did some upkeep at Beta Base, and then went to tackle Silo PHI, but on the way, cleared out a small cave, looted a crate at the end, and with that, completed yet another commission. Around the hill was the silo here, and I ran it through like it's nobody's business. It has deviants inside, and the boss is this grotesque looking thing, but I carry the bringer of death named Jelly, so slaying this foul demon was no issue whatsoever, and that's another commission off the list. The next day is when I found this little fella, a little logging beaver who functions the same as our elemental youth, so we'll be getting some wood passively, I assume. I did need more kills with Jelly for another commission, so I had another go at the dreaded base where I couldn't find the 2 anchors, and this time around I got all of it done by beating some of the head honchos. In this process, I got all of the selected missions completed, so after some healing back at base, I returned to Greywater to accept the listed commissions for week 3. Also got to level up, and to end off the day, I arrived at Rippleby, a type of transport base. As you can already expect, I was just doing city clearing and completed 4 commissions in the process. Quite a few actually, so all day was spent here and got back home at night to rest up. And 51 was all for tasks and side quests, anything for energy really. Things got checked off of all sorts, for instance like driving a ton on the bike, smelting stuff at home, restoring deviant power, and so on. And for the rest of the day I was busy doing some side quests in High Bank, one with codes and such, but it wasn't all that complicated, just a collection quest mostly. And more quests were done on day 52 in the early morning, and as I left I had another go at the Sproutlet truck to stock on up. With them all gathered, I redirected my focus to some side quests on the coast, enjoying the sunshine and ocean breeze, and ended up doing some on the Isle through the night. They are mostly all collection quests, that's why I'm breezing through them. The next day, the ones in the area were completed, so I decided to check on that deviant that Samuel mentioned in the fog a while back. This had me warping to an instance of the Mudflats to search for the Lord of the Fog. There was this giant lamphead in the middle of the fog, but after activating some generators, the fog cleared, and turns out the culprit was just this little yellow jacket, so yoink! Sam was glad that we completed the quest, and yeah, just more side quests were on the menu down here in Florida all day long. And same goes for 54, traveling across the lands, completing blue markers and commissions. But what's cool is that all week 3 commissions were done at the end of the day, and this grind was worth it because on day 55, I was rewarded with tons of Energy Link, as you can see at the top here, and leveled up to level 40 in the process. To keep up this momentum, I did another round of Sproutlet gathering, and then after, unwillingly, proceeded to get blown up, and then just got back to collection side quests, and said hello to the Chephosaurus. 56 had an odd encounter, as during this day of more side quests, I entered the Carnival of Doom, where we see a crazy clown named Chuckles who has not-so-willing participants for a game of roulette. If you're unlucky, you get turned into a teddy bear for all of eternity. We end up having to decide a 50-50 shot between us and our captor. I may have failed once or twice, sure, but we can just reappear here in his funhouse until I saw that this game is rigged for him to always win, so with the playing field now equalized, we end up winning and are able to capture a voodoo doll that is the culprit of this space. And then just continued with more side quests and upkeep. I really can't wait to see how far we can push our build after this grinding session, which lasted into day 57, where I got my second elemental youth by feeding it ore, thanks to the tips that Lo gave me. And got another paper dude captured this day as well by doing the correct pose that it wanted, and wrapped up the day by running a silo for T-Man, which was a task given by him. These are pretty good for progress, not bad at all really considering how fast you can get some loot. 58 was almost entirely taken up by a mission from this one officer who I helped heal up in return for supplies. This led me on a hunt for a safe for the promised rewards back in the securement point, which was that one difficult spot that I struggled with so badly. Once I got the safe items and finally fought my way out of this, it was already getting late, so I took the remaining hours to wear the jellyfish hat once again for Sproutlets. Trust me, this is worth it later. It's time to gear up on day 59 thanks to all this progress. One of those steps is sinking my best polar jelly that I have on me from all of those trucks that I did. They can have different values that make them better or worse, by the way, as you can see here. Then I got to looking at my 2 new override slots. One was now for healing improvements and another for shotgun amplify. As for calibrating, the shotgun got it twice, but here is where I ran into another problem. I am all out of Stardust Source, the next limiting resource, and I wasn't sure of an efficient way how to get this stuff. For more upgrades, I did manage to scrape together a tier 3 scout hood and boots, along with a blast top, pants, and mask. Not much has changed stat-wise, because 2 scout items gets the best of that, and a minimum of 2 blast pieces gets you that damage reduction that I wanted. Also, of course, the grilling gloves are on for fire damage, and a better icebreaker LMG was prepared. All this, of course, needs to be remodded, but thanks to the silo runs, I have some purple boot mods. If only I had purple boots. As for specs, one was for the updraft cannon, and one was to be able to make crystals through smelting. So for that, I placed my first electro refiner, so we do have much more that we can melt down now. During all of this, here's important context. I was craving blueprints to be able to make a final build later on, and aside city completion, using the llama machine is the key to getting more, but you need Star Crumb obtained from either seasonal rewards to play it, or from this here Stardust Resonance filter that I made. Let me show you how it works. You pop this weird stuff inside, which can come in different tiers for different difficulties, and then begin a defense minigame as monsters appear around your base and try to break it, or your base, and all you kinda gotta do is keep it safe for a while.
Ooh, is that a boss thing? What the frick are you? Woo! That almost took a whole clip. That has to be like a mini boss. What the heck was that? They're spawning in my house! Okay, but it's over. It's over. Nice.
And that's that. Easy Star Crumb, which I'm probably mispronouncing, but either way, day 60, half of that was about base upgrades in the form of a slightly larger farm, a water filter for purified water, an electric stove to cook higher end recipes, a mounted weapon rack, and expanded the containment area for all our new critters.
Holy crap! It's massive. What are you doing, Fuzzball?
I then simply ran Silo PHI and got a cool AK from it, and then Sigma in hopes for a good torso mod, but got nothing much to write about this time around. So I cranked up the difficulty on this silo the next day. Now it's meant for level 50 players, 3 of them in fact, and I thought to myself, it can't be that hard, I was wrong. It was that hard.
Oh boy, this is bad. These guys are strong. Oh, I did a oopsie doopsie. This was a bad idea. Yeah, there is absolutely no way I can do this by myself. Absolutely no dice.
Okay, well I got this far and I'm a very stubborn and not so smart person, so I kept pressing on even though at some point I must have gotten a concussion of sorts due to the brute damage that I got because my vision got all blurry till the next relog, but I didn't let that stop me because the loot here was absolutely scrumptious.
Okay. Absolutely impossible. Absolutely impossible. Dear oh lord, that guy. Okay. See if I can cheese him by luring him into this hole. Consuming living armor, which sometimes heals me, which is nice. And now, Jelly is ready. Oh no, Jelly. You missed the mark. My only chance is Jelly. I think I've removed all of his entourage. So now it just comes down to a final showdown. Jelly. Yo. That's holding him in place. We're getting some really nice damage on him, but he is a tough boy. Pick up the Shadow Gatling. What? What Shadow Gatling? Oh, did he heal? What Shadow Gatling? What are you talking about? I don't see no Shadow Gatling. What happens if I run to his normal zone now? He has this weird armor on him. He's immune. Oh, I'm gonna go down. Oh, my living armor is helping me. I'm using the Shadow Gatling just to kill more of his bodyguards before he's back. Quickly loot some meds while nobody is here. Big guy. There. Come on. Come on, big guy. You got it in you. I know you do. Come on. Gonna be around the corner any second now. Mano a mano. Two can play this game, bucko. That's to get his armor away, I assume. Oh, oh, oh. I gotta heal. Gotta heal. There we go. Now, throw you out. And now while you're held still, I'm gonna use the Gatling on you. Oh, but you hurt so much. Oh, that's not the Gatling even that I was using. Okay. But I think we're doing good. As long as we play it safe, we should be fine. He does have that healing ability, but a bit of a problem. Heal. Almost out of ammo on this one. He's almost dead. We did it! Oh my gosh, that was so difficult. That was by far the most difficult fight in this entire adventure so far. Oh my gosh. Let's get that loot, baby! 6,800 energy link and multiple orange weapon mods. I can't see how much Stardust is down there. It doesn't want to let me scroll down. So that was really good. It did take me about 25 minutes to run this dungeon. The majority of that was the boss, but this was cool. This was cool. I like that.
I still can't believe we managed that, but needless to say, I went home to relog, and that run did allow me to max calibrate my shotgun, and I also got this here AK at tier 3 that also is a burn weapon, so looks like we're gonna have some big old spider barbecue. After tons of upkeep and preparation, I saw that a lot of tier 4 items need iridium crystals. For them, I need to find aluminium, and based on how most ores have their own respective biomes, I decided to head far west to check out the Chalk Peaks. To my surprise, as soon as I got there, I found the motherlode under this bridge, so I got a hefty amount as fast as I could and smelted it up straight away thanks to being able to teleport. While these ingots are cooking on day 62, I decided to head on over to this new silo that I found called EX1. It has mask mods listed as the reward, so might as well do it because I have some time to kill, but something ain't quite right in this one. More and more dead guards were scattered along the way, and sure enough, this place had plenty of monsters blocking my path, especially at this prison section with birthing pods. But things got even more interesting as I warped to a pocket dimension where you gotta play a classic game of red light, green light. Once I got the hang of this, it became no problem at all, and at the end was another portal door, and through it was the final behemoth of a boss.
Oh my gosh. Sennacherib? What in the frick? Alright. Jelly, you know the drill. And that is not the drill. Yo, you missed the mark there. This is terrifying. I mean, let's look at that thing. Okay, so he also has lights. Go, Jelly! And it doesn't work. Oh, no. What is going on with my health? What is going on with my health? Oh my gosh. What the frick was that? I just got obliterated in the blink of an eye. Those satellites, they shot lasers at me and I couldn't move. Oh, wait, what? Oh, I could just redo the fight. Okay, that's not bad. That's very forgiving. I like that. Compensates for my stupidity. Okay, wait, now he's immune though. Okay, I gotta just blast his lights. It's like the only place that I can deal damage to him. Okay, that's 2 lights down. Lights out, baby. Oh, oh, surrounded. Back into my hidey hole. It's interesting because it halts even all of its minions. There, it's green. The big one up top. So close. I'm not gonna risk it though. Just go back to my safe hidey hole. Now's the time. Last one. Come on. There it is. Down she goes, baby. Nice. Needed to use my noggin for that one. Okay. Where's the loot? Oh, right here. Speak of the devil. Oh, hello. Atomic lighter. Sure. Might as well catch these. Bada bing. 55 Stardust. Not bad, actually. Not bad.
I then got home to turn the new aluminium ingots into crystals, plus an alloy pickaxe. I'd even threw in a tier 4 scout jacket. And I see that a new resource I'm going to need is engineering plastics, which I think is only obtained from higher areas and challenges because I had a smidge. Since I'm home, I did some upkeep by getting water at the river and using my water purifier for the first time. Also got to making the updraft cannon that I mentioned a few times, as well as a medium garage, and I hoped that I could make a pickup here, but engineering plastics again halted my progress. So I just went to test out the new kitchen and made a tea to have sanity recovered on the go. With meds in hand on day 63, I went back to that same silo and attempted it on hard difficulty, which in retrospect probably wasn't the best idea because it scaled up big time. Like the enemies on the way were already tanky, which make it take forever to even get to the traffic light room. And once I finally got to the boss, I was already exhausted. And to make matters worse, this lamppost looking dude is so incredibly beefy that my light breaker almost broke in the fight. And I was losing ammo fast, but I couldn't afford to rush it. I played it super safe, which made this one fight, and obviously the way here, take me the entire day.
Oh, finally! Oh, that took forever, but that is so satisfying. Whew. I better level up from that, dear Lord. Ooh, another one of those shotguns that I have, but a higher tier. You know what? I'll take it.
I figured though it was time on day 64 to go face off against the next monolith boss. We've done quite a bit of upgrades by now, so the Mirage monolith here shouldn't be a problem. Just slightly worried because already I see a giant spider nest in the center crater as I broke in. Let's just not think about that and press on and distract ourselves with shiny blueprints like these here shock goggles. But in all seriousness, this place is a hellhole. It turns dark real quick. But the sooner we take her out, the sooner we can go home.
Okie dokie. Well, initially I was a little bit concerned about fighting this boss, but I have upgraded like considerably compared to the other boss fights. Like, I took my sweet time. You know, we got weapons with fire damage, so logic tells me it should be effective against this grotesque abomination. But yeah, I think we're just gonna do it on normal difficulty, because you already know how difficult hard silos are, so let's just go with the normal and see what happens. I'm excited. Okay. I got my shotgun ready, and I ain't afraid to use it. Oh, she's singing in English now. Oh, that's not terrifying. Oh, no, that's not oh, here we go. Oh, I'm slowly getting scared. I went in confidently, but the whole singing and the vibes, they threw me off. They threw me off my cool here. Ooh. Ooh. What? What am I looking at? We're supposed to fight the spider. Oh no. I have goosebumps. I ain't gonna lie. I have some goosebumps here. Don't you shush me. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, it's happening. Oh, it's happening. Hi, Muma. You miss me? Do we fight in the hallway? Okay, there we go. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. I am in its nest. Oh my god, this arena. Okay, here we go. Living armor. Heal up. There we go. I think that's a poison cloud, so I'm gonna be wary of that. Oh, what's happening to me? What? Whoa. I think I was tied up by maybe some invisible web or something. Oh, okay, yeah, those are like, oh, the damage. Oh, the damage is freaking crazy. Okay. I'm just gonna leave Jelly there and try and lure her into it. Because she moves around quite a lot. Okay, well, never mind that plan. I'm actually retrieving it. Okay. How about the AK? Oh no, she's pulling me! No. Oh boy. Okay. And why do I barely have any meds? Oh, not a camp. Stupid. Kill it with fire! Oh, she's doing the nasty thing. Okay.
Oh,
Do you poop fog? Clear the spider eggs hidden in the mists. You got it. Well, the fog is thick though. Jeez. No. Oh, I don't see any eggs, lady. Oh, wait. Are those the eggs? They're like super far away. I thought they would be like close by to where she was, but now these are spawning babies. Okay, because I didn't kill them fast enough. Got a whole lot of these dudes on my booty. You know what? Here. Jelly will deal with you. Okay, she's back. She's back. She's back. I repeat, she's back. Whoa. Oh my god. Okay, no, she's got a massive jump with them legs. Oh my lord. Oh, that's terrifying. Oh, hold up. Ah, great. Here we go. This might be it. This might be it for yours truly. Ow! I can't move. Okay. Heal. Quick acting meds. Get off of me. I know you're doing this because I fought those spiders in the fog early in the video. I just know you are. It was not personal. Oh, great. I didn't dodge that in time. I keep forgetting that there's a dodge roll in this game. It would have saved my life so many times. You know, this burn AK is not doing half bad with all the burn mods that I have. So she's immune again. She's going back to her... Oh, no! I thought she was going to go back to the middle pedestal there. Apparently that's not the case. Oh, you're not immune anymore. Okay. Alrighty, let's keep it going. Now we gotta eliminate the eggs again. I can't see them. How am I supposed to kill them? Ah. Okay, note to self, don't walk on the web. Don't walk on the web. There. Oh. 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 Yep. Okay, I think as long as you break 2, she comes down, or is it just based on a timer? That's my question. Oh boy. Okay, my living armor saved me there. Honestly, if it wouldn't have been for the living armor, I would have been so dead. I'm running low on meds, honestly. Okay, I couldn't dodge that. There we go, now I can finally see. Dodge and weave. Oh, come on. Focus, 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 focus. She's basically dead. Please don't go immune. There it is. Ah. Stay down. Jeez. You know what? As disgusting as, you know, that monster is, the design is pretty sweet. We got a dream catcher here. All right, come to Papa. And while we're at it, maximum loot, baby. A revolver and some mods. Very nice, very nice. That is mission accomplished, everybody.
well, I thought that one would have been easier. I was really surprised by the difficulty on that one, though I did enjoy the challenge. As for the chrono chamber here and talking to Mitsuko and the usual mimetics rewards, she notices the dream catcher that we caught. Seems like this is how Araxium was entering people's dreams, but now the people at Greywater can rest easy.
Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes my sanity.
Hot Dog was notified of the happenings, so that's mission completed. And to end off such a tense day, I just ran an easy silo for some quick loot, but I need to do some harder ones for the tier of gear that I'm trying to make at this point. 65 had me setting out to a town called Tallgrass to meet Mary for one of the story quests, but hold the phone. That there, my lovelies, right there? That is tungsten ore, the best ore currently in the game to my knowledge, so you bet your sweet pippy I spent a large portion of the day gathering that all up. So first in the afternoon, we got some ingots going.
Work.
You
Nope. Did you not hear me? Excuse me, young man. Are you gonna do it willingly, or what? There we go. Attaboy. Do your thing.
I am missing 2 special parts for a max gear workbench, so I went over to Evergreen since it's in the Red Sands, which is a high level area. Through the heavy pollution and strong enemies, I searched, looting everything that I came across.
Yeah, I do not trust that group of abominations in the slightest. Gonna get the good old jellyfish treatment. Hello. Oh, that is thing a nightmare right there. Oh, that thing is real strong. It's like an actual boss. But it ain't no match for Jelly. Thing is, Jelly has a gravitational pull. What? That pulls everything to it. Die, foul demon.
The supplies here are awesome. This place is magnificent, and the updraft is really coming in clutch here to speed up the process, being able to reach many hard to reach places. So I kept this up, using it into day 66. It's really awesome to check every nook and cranny, like getting to the mystical chest here at the tippy top. And Jelly, man, time and time again, this little guy proves to be an incredible ally, holding this massive abomination in place, making it a breeze to take down. I also took some time out of my busy looting schedule to complete a short quest with some blocks for a little cheeky bonus chest, and then went on home and thanks to this haul, got some engineering plastics from the disassembler, which means now we have an advanced gear workbench, so tier 5 gear is now at our fingertips. Another looting session was happening up north at the Blackfell oil fields, where the enemies were plentiful and also peculiar. I saw this really odd centaur thing, but Jelly had no words for it. For this enemy shall only know silence from here on out. Once home with this haul, I got to make the advanced supply bench, so in rapid order, these are the things that I got to make. A tungsten pickaxe, an advanced synth bench, a biomass generator which was powered up with organic material, which then powered up the new synth machine to make some tier 3 cortexes, since I intend on doing high tier resonance defense missions, where I want more Starcrom for more llama blueprints. I even got to setting up more turrets around the base, so I kicked off the resonator on day 67, and my goodness, this was noticeably more difficult, but thankfully the turrets were doing their thing. But I did notice though that once everything was said and done, my wall was destroyed and even some of my storage. All of that was to whack one llama over the head for an LMG blueprint that I don't think is as good as my icebreaker, so I came up with a different plan. As an evergreen, there is this painting that all I had to do was wave at it so I could get an extra chest. With this, I got to over 300 stellar plenula, and sure, I could spend these on something responsible, but where's the fun in that? So in Greywater, I turned those into 3 Starcrom boxes for a total of 1,500 of it, which let me whack 3 more llamas back home, and this was worth it, my lovelies, as I got this legendary Doombringer shotgun blueprint. It has a crow on it, so it must be a sign. So without a second thought, I made this tier 5 bad boy, and this clickety-clackety buckshot dispenser deals bullseye, which marks enemies to make them vulnerable, and makes all damage to it have 30% more crit chance, which is amazing. But I have no stardust to calibrate it, and desperate times call for desperate measure, so I have just over 2,000 sproutlets, and good mods do cost 1,000 at the vendor, and yeah, in my desperation, I spent 1,000 sproutlets on dust only to get very little in return. Just got to calibrate Doom here once, so that did hurt my soul just a little bit. But I knew that I should be getting more tungsten, so I upgraded my bike to be a bit faster, and then got to gathering ore all day long, but also found some gold, so that's pretty cool. As the tungsten was smelting on day 68, I decided to check my map, and I saw this silo super far north which offers torso mods, so I decided to ride out to it and give it a shot. Turns out it is this little building here in the middle of nowhere, and let's just try it on normal for now since it's recommended level 45. As for this one's theme, it's like a sewer system with corrupted vultures, and this first round was for recon to learn the mechanics, and Doombringer here made this a breeze even for my first try, but there was this odd spot where by moving a statue you could go through a warp tunnel and arrived in this ominous chamber with 6 statues and a monster's reflection in the water. However, to this day, I didn't figure out the puzzle, so if y'all played this part, let me know what you gotta do and what happens in the comments. Moving on, I passed a wall lip passage, and I didn't realize that the areas of this place are like lava. All this dark gloop drains your sanity very fast. So once I got through the next jumping room, where after hopping around and looting a very sweet mod, I got to the boss fight with very little health. It's a standard monster to beat, but it was very difficult because I couldn't afford to take many hits because I didn't have sanity meds on me. So after jumping around like crazy, shooting and praying, I finally landed the win.
Oh, that was close. Oh, that was close. Oh, I couldn't think. I fought that whole thing without a health bar.
Needless to say, I went home to sleep and heal up fully and get my sanity back, but I was happy because after applying another override slot for even more perks to my build, I disassembled the supplies and this was absolutely glorious. Juicy resources right there, so I even did this to my fire weapons for Stardust because I want my Doombringer max calibrated immediately. I knew that I would run this silo a few more times, so I cooked up some sanity gummies and prepped for more runs. However, I did see this HP evolution base for level 50s on the map, and of course, ya boys gotta check it out since it should have even better rewards. But as I set out on day 69 and having arrived there, I realized that this is no ordinary dungeon because the NPCs sniped me into oblivion right off the rip. I thankfully had one adrenaline on me to keep me going. After sniping cautiously from the top here, clearing out the area the best that I could and then eliminating the stragglers at the bottom, I saw at the door that this here is way past my skill level. This is the LEA lab that I think is the endgame dungeon, based on the level 64 player recommendation, with only master difficulty being an option.
Nope. No, sir. I'm going back from whence I came.
So, let's do that easy dungeon a few times, shall we? And man, I actually started speed running this one. I cleared it start to finish in just under 2 minutes. And I did this so many times this day, I lost count because this is the best Stardust farm that I've found till now. The Doombringer demands it. And the weapon rewards are no joke either, like this amazing legendary assault rifle that deals shrapnel, which is like an extra tick of damage to body parts. Very strong. And this crazy looking axe too. You get it though, this was done many times and the loot stacked up fast. I did this all day and took a nap at day's end. After some extensive upkeep to kick off day 70 and calibrating Doom a bit more, I got a season task done that way, which upon claiming the rewards did land me some better armor blueprints by the llama, but not enough to actually unlock them, so I had to simply make do with what is available to me. This meant that I ended up making a key item, which is this hat for shrapnel potential, since the assault rifle that I got from the silo is very good, and I have this here perfect mod to combo with that. As for armor, I got all of this here whipped up at tier 5. I know these are blue items mostly, but I was proud and we'll get some higher end stuff later. The same silo was ran one more time with this setup to compare output, and I was a little bit faster, but nothing noticeable, so I then went to test out at this other silo for a good pants mod in the distance, but the road there was long and filled with perils as I found a huge boneyard where vultures were performing a devious ritual. It has to do with this here centaur boss, and I think you kinda gotta play King of the Hill on these 3 points, and I gotta say, it's very difficult to do solo. I'm sure that if I would have had Team Caps here, we would have been fine. However, I did meet my end here. Having respawned, I decided maybe I've done enough grinding for better armor and mods, so let's go check out the story in Tallgrass, the place where I initially wanted to go before Tungsten derailed my plans. It was on day 71 where I reached the safe zone. It's a settlement under a cliffside with its very own moat around it, kind of like a modern castle. The main hub of Tallgrass is in the cave at the back, where Samuel tips us off on a deviant in a vineyard nearby. As for the merchant Claire, she asks if we have heard of the Silent Beast. I can't say that we have. Apparently something is kidnapping people, and the mayor of Tallgrass named Klein pretends like everything is fine and avoids the subject entirely. So I walked up to his office, where by talking to him, this was reaffirmed. He just thinks the Silent Beast is a ton of bull, and I get that he doesn't want us investigating, which is awfully suspicious. Claire decides to take matters into my hands, as she'll be the one to reward me for solving this mystery. The only place to check for clues has been marked on my map. Side note, I should have accepted Mary's quest line here, but I totally forgot, and that makes things a bit confusing, but you'll get what I'm talking about later. We set out to this quest at dawn, and after a very short drive, we arrive in a neighboring settlement which is controlled by vultures. I'd say that I snuck in, but that plan didn't last very long. At least I got to the first theater very quick, where I see a person named Joanne speaking to a young Klein. From what I gathered, Joanne was leading a group of people in the area, and because Klein's mom was too slow, she was left behind to die so the rest could live, which logically devastated Klein as a child. The second theater was down below in a wine cellar, where once I fought my way to listen in on what happened, Klein seemed to insist on taking his dog out to look for his mom, despite leader Joanne's orders. The last one, though, was in this one place that shows the savagery of the vultures.
What in the heck did I walk into?
As you can likely tell, this is an altar, which means it's warping time yet again to catch a glimpse of the next great one.
Oh, what the heck? A shadow hound? Don't tell me that's Klein's dog. However, I have done a lot of grinding. So I think we'll definitely be fine. And it starts to thrash about like a wild mutt. Oh. Okay, no, he has a jump like the spider. Oh, what? Did he just go through like the river of blood there? You know what? Here. Jelly will, look at that, look at Jelly. Look at Jelly's damage. Absolutely insane. Oh, here he comes. And our weapons don't do half bad either. I mean, seriously. I'm gonna miss this assault rifle once it's broken because we can't repair it. Because we didn't make it, so. Sleep tight, sweet prince. That looks pretty cool. I can't wait to see, like, the full model.
Well, I think it's safe to say that we need to ask Klein what's up, so after a short drive, we arrive back in Tallgrass, and guess what? He's gone! Stop avoiding the questions, Klein, you can't run forever! V then says that we should just get to activating the anchors for the coming monolith, so we explored the beautiful chalk peaks. It is quite a large area, so the first place that I got to was Gaia Military Base that I descended upon with V. It's got some odd rock formations, and the anchor is at the river, completely unprotected, so that is one down. Next is a place called Rotten Saddle, so past this tunnel and zooming down a slope, which was super fun, I arrived at this hillside city, which has a very interesting layout, but yeah, Anchor was an in-and-out job, so the third one is very far out to the west, in the middle of nowhere, at a place called Silver Shore. Getting there took a tad longer, but after descending upon the settlement with V, I came across a few more difficulties with this one.
What in the heck am I even? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You know what? Dude can play at that game. He's like a catapult. There we go. Oh, man, he's getting so much backup. I didn't think this guy would be such an issue. And... kablooey.
I'm so glad that we did this because I got a really good ice mod and it's just what I needed. With this anchor completed, I could see 2 more at the Monolith of Thirst itself, which is exactly the amount I still gotta do. So after some upkeep and preparations, I got to making a tier 5 icebreaker, as I'll be taking this along instead of the shrapnel assault rifle because I prefer weapons that I can actually repair, unlike looted weapons, and I did get this good ice mod for it. Also got to making a tier 5 agent helmet as I don't need the shrapnel hat anymore, and then just redid my whole build to deal better frost damage. Those upgrades were necessary as on day 72, I set out to beat the entity in the Monolith of Thirst. Kind of ironic how it rained on the way, by the way. But once I passed this field of windmills, I reached the site, and it seems like it's not even fully built yet, but that doesn't change the fact that we have a great one to slay, now does it?
Hello.
It became very clear that the entity here was affecting the physical world because that there looks like meat vines growing up the side there. As for the 2 anchors remaining, they both got activated, so all we gotta do is put the demon dog down. And hello, Klein, funny bumping into you here all ominous like. He's not all that happy that we're here as he says that he's here to feed his dog.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I knew it! I freaking knew it! My gut feeling was right.
Turns out, he was feeding the Transcendent here sacrifices to keep the rest of the people safe, for in this world, humans are only prey, he says. Sure thing, bud, but you're not convincing me that you're doing some good here. Also, apparently he has powers and traps us in a special dimension looking like the Backrooms 2.0 in an attempt to trap me here forever.
Oh, that scared me. Oh, oh, oh. Where'd he go? Oh, he's immune. Okay, I just gotta kind of ignore it. Okay. What the frick? No. There you are. Lights out, buddy. Oh, we gotta do it multiple times. Okay. What are you upside down for, buddy? What's all this? You went through a whole lot of effort just to die. Get out of my way. Die, Ethan. This is goodbye, old friend. Oh, strange door. Don't mind if I do. Alright. How about that puppy?
Alrighty, well with that dealt, we can go and take on the Hound with no more distractions.
Would you look at that? Absolute cutie patootie right there. The Shadow Hound, level 40, recommended 2 players. I was surprised on how difficult the spider was last time, so I don't want to get my hopes up for this one, but realistically speaking, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. We'll totally be okay. Okay, we're off to some Silent Hill shenanigans. All right. This brings back memories of old school gaming. Oh boy. Is that the lady that Klein was talking to in the theater? 'Cause that's not Klein. I made sure of that. And here comes Meat Puppy. Oh my gosh. I would like to think those horns are just whiskers, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be proven wrong on that assessment. Oh, man. Why you gotta come out like that, bro? Dear Lord. Holy! This is one ginormous abomination. This is like the creepiest one yet. Hi. Can you sit? Can you play dead? No? Shadowhound. We're gonna start off well. Okay. Heal. And Jelly is ready to rumble. So, without further ado, I see there are these portals here. I feel like they are important. What happens if I do this? Oh! Okay. That's what it does. It puts me right into its face. I'm just placing it here on me because I'm expecting it to come to me. Oh, there it is. I don't think Jelly's getting anything off. Come back, Jelly. You know what? I think it's time for you to say hello to my little friend. Right after you do that. There we go. I made this icebreaker just for you. And he is pretty tough, though. Not gonna lie. He's just made out of pure darkness. Oh, no. Why are you pulling me? Oh, I don't like that. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, so that's an attack where... Oh! That is also an attack. But that's an attack where you want to stay away from him, because if he pulls you in, and you're already too close, then you're in for a world of hurting. Oh my gosh, what are these spikes? Jelly? Go. Whoa. What is that? What is that? Oh, do I have to break these orbs in order to hit him fully? Because there's... Oh, they're like his little turrets. Good thing I have adrenaline shots, or this would have been a problem. Okay. I noticed he has some... Oh. He had some glowing things on his shoulders that I think I had to pop, and I think I did that correctly. I can never land the dodge roll in time. That's on me. Okay, here he comes with his spike nonsense. We're doing a lot of ice damage though. Like this this icebreaker has been the key. I can't think straight. He's doing all sorts of wacky attacks. Break the pulse. And there we go. I'm down again. Okay. We're doing okay though. We're doing okay though. I still have some adrenaline shots. There we go. Pop the shoulder thingies. He's so close to being dead. Come on! Oh no! Just not enough in the mag. Yep. You know what? Let's go style. Thank you for giving me the moment. Canine skull. What in the heck is that? And of course, the cherry on top, the actual boss loot. Okay, we already have a blue tiger, but I do like the precision rush gear mod right there. Real nice. I really like that one. That's a lot of stardust too, and a lot of energy link. As for the canine skull, can participate in combat, will transform into a black wolf and attack enemies. That's actually pretty cool.
As for the chrono chamber at this monolith, Mitsuko seems to be sad, and we want to know why, but she diverts the topic to the hound skull deviant that we just caught and highlights that it is very violent. I pressed on the topic again on what has her so sad, which is when she says that the dream catcher had affected her, and she had seen some true nightmares because of it, of where Rosetta wiped out all of us, and she insists it wasn't just a dream, but we reassure her that we will handle everything. Once I was back in Tallgrass, I mentioned what happened to Claire, and, well, all of her suspicions were correct, so for a job well done, we were rewarded for completing the Monolith of Thirst. The story then wants me to go up north to the Red Sands. Luckily, that's not very far from Beta Base, so I got back home, checked my override slots, and see that I'm only missing one more to be complete, and just tended to the farm for a while and ran an easy silo for some supplies, because I intend on gearing up some more before I fully tackled the desert. So the next day I did another silo, hunted some food, and got some water, because I'm going on a new city clearing spree, starting with Alkirk that took a pretty long time. Also found the stronger version from the tentacle flyer things, which was a real thorn in my side, and the crates were dispersed all over the place. It was first on day 74 where I got the mystical chest here to complete the area. And the closest spot to do next is East Blackfell, where the spider hospital is. And since I explored this place once already, it was done really fast. It was done and dusted before brunch, so with some upkeep done and some unloading, got straight back to the grind. This time at the Greywater Industrial Plant. The list is very short here, but there were a couple of boss-like beasts to take down in the process, and the axe was coming in handy, as you can see. And what I could see is the mystical crate behind this wall, but no entry point. Turns out all I had to do was use an elevator to find a route around to get to it. So that's this place completed. So Holt Town, which is a bit of a higher class settlement, was the next spot to check off, and this area took me all day to explore, and I didn't even get to complete everything. So on day 76 I went home because I was very encumbered, and then returned to Holt Town with more inventory space. No loot shall be left behind. Also popped a hulking balloon mini boss in this process, but man, for the life of me, I couldn't find the mystical crate. I think it's in a private room that I can't figure out how to get access to, so to end the day I just got to doing more major upkeep and restocking ammunition. And let's keep the completions going. On day 77, the Gaia military base was my target, and after bonking the heavy guard here over the head with an axe, completed this section, and then got straight to clearing out Rotten Saddle nearby. Here, by the time that I completed the checklist, I already leveled up to level 47, by the way. Day 78 had me completing Silvershore Resort at mid-morning, so I had more than enough time to also activate teleporters across the region and rest up in the evening to regain my energy in order to tackle Green Lake Hill on day 79, which seems like a normal enough village aside the horrors beyond the human mind's comprehension. And with the area done, I set out northeast. However, in the forest, I had something straight out of my own nightmares charging towards me, that being a freaking corrupted bear. Either way, I then arrived at the Monolith of Thirst and was just completing tasks on the side and such, but here as well, I just couldn't find the mystical crate to get it all done, so I just went home at noon of day 80, did some upkeep, and then set out to Evergreen Vineyard. The farmlands here are very extensive, so I was quite busy clearing such a large area, which lasted all the way through the night. But just a bit into day 81 this place was done, and same happened at a place called Furnace Lair. I do need me an endgame build ASAP though, we're running out of time to finish the story. However, before I would follow the level 50 quest line to get started in the Red Sands, I wanted to try out some new things, like placing down a water pump, adding a spec for better turret damage, craft a fishing rod since I plan to add something cool to my aquarium here. Also, it was finally time to make my long-awaited pickup truck. I was so excited until I saw that it needed barreled fuel, of which I had none on me. Fancy rust bucket. I then set out on a long journey to Alpha Silo, and the dungeon in question wasn't tough at all on the lowest difficulty, but I did this since, besides good helmet mods dropping, it unlocked the last override slot on my cradle, so that is all done, and I got this frost mod, which is absolutely perfect. Since I'm here, I did the list real quick of the area, and then got to unlocking more blueprints back at home in the evening. About that story though, on day 83 it was time to head on out to the town called Blackfell, far in the north. Thanks to my bike and my base location though, the trip didn't take all that long, and turns out this area has a fallen section, while the safe zone settlement is in this big stadium. As I attempted to enter, I see two guards named Josh and Chris, but both don't seem to like each other, and each is stationed here by the orders of a different mayor. I smell politics. As for the inside of the settlement, the center is more so for farms and shops, while the walls provide living quarters. The first mayor that we come across is Old Bones Dennis, who mentions the other mayor is named Trent and is a former Rosetta member, and Dennis is quite upset that Trent allowed many newcomers into Blackfell, which is draining their supplies quickly. Also, he ain't too friendly since he thinks that we are from Rosetta. Okay, well let's listen to the other side of the story by talking to Mayor Trent, who is in his own private library. He says that they are close to a civil war since both sides that follow the mayors do not get along in the slightest. Dennis is the leader of the oil workers and is supposedly blaming Trent for forcefully taking over this place. All Trent says is that we can't really help because we're an outsider and that Dennis should back off. This is when someone named Pauline steps in and asks for my help. She runs the restaurant, so we'll meet her there. Apparently she can shed some light on why this settlement is tearing itself apart. Blackfell was founded by her uncle named Ted Holt, and everyone has forgotten he ever existed, so there's mass amnesia that's to blame. Also, Ted and Dennis used to be very close friends, but something is causing some nasty grudges in all this confusion. She then marked some locations where I could get info on what happened between Ted, Trent, and Dennis. This means it's spatial theater time. In the oil fields, I saw one where Uncle Ted was talking to Dennis, who says that the workers here are getting quite sick, so Uncle Ted offers to look for a doctor. This leads us to a hospital in Blackfell, where Uncle Ted asks Dr. Trent, who left Rosetta, to come help people out in Blackfell, but he's only willing to accept if Blackfell allows more survivors to enter the settlement and offer them refuge. Lastly, after driving past sand dunes and up a cliffside in scorching heat, we reach a Rosetta extraction compound. This theater at the entrance shows that the three of them were trying to break in order to retrieve medical and other supplies, since Trent is an ex-member and knows the access codes and layout of the place, even though he's the most hesitant to enter. Ted says that he and Dennis will infiltrate with a squad of their best men, and in this time, Trent is officially in charge of Blackfell in case Ted doesn't come out alive. So we have no choice but to bust on in ourselves to get more info on what happened to Ted, and V here highly suggests that we err on the side of caution as something doesn't seem right here. The best thing that I looted here was the blueprints for a Keyfrost shirt that I am going to test out, but back to the topic at hand. I descended down this elevator in warped dimensions. Seems like this new place is the same place, but in the past, and it's got some plant-like humanoid monsters that sometimes are motionless, sometimes want to eat my face. While I was exploring, I could hear Ted shouting that something is after them and that Dennis should escape with the supplies. Looks like we might be reliving what happened. After being chased by plant people for a while, I could see a vision of Ted and Dennis in a room. Dennis seems to be weakened and monsters are bashing at the door, and their only hope is to escape through the ventilation system. Dennis makes it up there, but Ted just doesn't. In this frantic moment of being dragged down by his leg, he tells Dennis to get to safety for the people are depending on the supplies, and that Dennis should help Trent with Blackfell, which is when Ted gets dragged down into a monster mosh pit. End scene. As I was leaving this base, I did get to a theater outside, but I went a little bit too fast and accidentally skipped the entire dialogue and I just couldn't get it back. All that I can see in the quest description is that Dennis didn't forget Ted because of what happened down there, but it more so likely has to do with the monolith, so that's our cue to activate anchors to unlock the final boss. So a long rest was in order to ready up, because on day 84 I was completing cities in the desert, starting with the oil fields. As I completed this area, I was one level away from being max level 50, so I then just popped on over to Blackfell Fallen Zone since it's the closest, and it did take me into the night. But after beating the TV siblings here, I got the final mystical chest at about midnight. So at 85, I was going out to the next spot, but I did so much looting on the way and teleporter activating that I first arrived in Evergreen in the afternoon, meaning it took me till this day's evening to complete the area with its 2 anchors, but there's only one more to go. So for the final push, I did some upkeep and then went to a place called Fort I don't know how to pronounce that. Either way, it is a cool cliffside city with overhangs and nice views. It's a really nice place if you can ignore the vulture infestation, but with this area now done, that is all anchors completed. It was also this day where I reached max level as I was making sure that nothing in this fort was left unlooted. Day 87, boom, extraction point done. It just took me a whole day, but no blueprints are safe from me. And same for day 88 at this Tony Stark looking mansion called the Alternate Reality Research Institute. The inside was a little bit freaky deaky looking with the screens and whatnot, but all this was worth it as I got an Orb Lightning Deviant, which gives you items to make your turret stronger. Sad thing here though is this Rosetta mechanic was just way too strong for me. No matter how many times I re-engaged with him, I just kept dropping very fast. Surprisingly because of his drone, not so surprisingly because all my armor was breaking, but whatever, I figured it was enough grinding and I can finally make an endgame-ish build. Not my final, but stuff to face all this tougher content. But first, I placed down a better power generator, a new kitchen set with a brewing barrel, made a cookie from the gingerbread house to transform into an object, which completes a season goal, and with that, got to whack some more llamas and unlocked renegade boots. And lastly, set up my orb to be happy. Now that there's one fancy orb. And the upgrades kept going into 89 with a better farm that had morels growing, by the way. Corn was brewing in the barrel, I set up jelly with all the conditions to be happy as well, and then got to making some corn-based bait, and with it did quite a lot of super relaxing fishing. I do enjoy it IRL as well, so this was a very nice change of pace, and I did this to get different fishes in hopes to complete a season goal to roll the wish machine some more, but I didn't get that done, but I did catch this new eel deviant.
Hello. Is he made out of batteries?
That one there improves base power output, which is amazing. Also, my coolest fishy goes into the tank, and my last spec improves drones, something with them working with Bullseye and being tankier, and that might combo with Doombringer, I suppose. But now with corn ale at the ready and having figured out how to make lighters from our deviant that function as grenades, it was time to come up with a build. And here's the thing with 100 Days videos, you can't really grind as much as you want to get what you need. You just gotta end up playing the cards that you're dealt at some point. So here's the situation. Our best weapon that we have at the moment is Doombringer with Bullseye as a setup weapon to improve our crit rates. And I have a few options to build off of that, but at this time, Icy Rain SMG makes the most sense here since it works off of crit rates and is further elevated by comboing it with Jelly. The bonuses that it gets from ice vortexes are really cool, as you can see here, and we can't forget that I got a Key Frost tactical vest, and that just makes vortexes even better. And since the whole thing is based off of crit rates, it only makes sense to make 4 pieces of the Falcon set, since that there does improve your crit rate as long as your stamina is high. The boots though were Renegade because it's the best that I got tier-wise, it'll just improve reload speed. And I gotta say, we do look like we love that baseball, baby, love the Mets, baby, yeah, let's go Mets. But I sadly can't calibrate all of this new gear because I'm low on both tungsten and dust. For this set, I did buy a short suppressor for the SMG to give it a bit more range on day 90, along with a frost mod with the remaining sproutlets that I had. Lowe did have some intel for me from a reliable source, the source being himself, that he left a deviant behind in the Forsaken Monolith. Also, that Rosetta is conducting human experiments in the Red Sands. He's arranged for an informant to meet me to get me up to speed. We can only assume these experiments are to make super anomalies out of metahumans. Big disclaimer though, halt everything. Remember when I mentioned that I should have accepted Mary's mission in Tallgrass? Well, I talked to Samuel here and the topic just happened to come up on that what Mary has against us. What? This quest seems to assume you did that quest with Mary, since he goes on about that Mary betrayed us after gaining our trust and attempted to eliminate us. I had a feeling this might happen, just thought that I'd live through it first. And we will, so I zipped on over to her location to clear things up.
Hi. This is a bit awkward. I heard you want to betray me. That was news to me. What do you have to say for yourself?
I figured you'd come through here after Iron River. I have news.
So we're gonna pretend like nothing happened. Okay.
Yeah, she says there is a secret makeshift prison where mayflies are locked up, along with an old colleague of hers who's an ex-Rosetta researcher, and we're going to go to the marked warehouse building to set them free. Yeah, buddy, nothing ever good came from going to a suspicious warehouse, but I'll humor you.
Okay. I'm just gonna pretend like this isn't an obvious trap.
At the spot, I did test out my frost build for the first time, and it is super fun, just popping icicles everywhere, and the damage is juicy. This isn't even fully calibrated, nor my final build yet, surprisingly, but I didn't know that at the time. But as to the makeshift prison, it was a setup with a hulking monster and Mary, who says that she's figured out the safe haven with the girl inside, likely Mitsuko in her dimension. Also, we are to be eliminated so we don't interfere with her upcoming plans, so we're kind of a sacrifice in a way. Kind of weird though that she controls the monster here, like how did that happen?
Yeah, my friend, that is not happening. That is not happening, not today. I'm talking a whole lot of schmack there, Muma.
The most logical thing to do was to go notify Mayor Trent about Mary's betrayal, since he used to be part of Rosetta, so maybe he has some answers. Although I did run out of gas just before Blackfell, which is going to become a thorn in my side soon. But as to the conversation, he thinks this Mary might have been an imposter. He isn't sure who she is. Rosetta is known to make clones of low-level staff at least, and Mary is quite a common name. He isn't sure though, since he left 20 years ago. He's not up to date on their plans, but what he does know is that Extraction Site 73 has data on all personnel. He knows this since he's the one who built it, and to be able to infiltrate that place, he gave us a copy of his fingerprints and eye scans in order to break in. But getting there was slow, since like I mentioned, I'm out of gas, so I was just hiking through the night to get there, but that's fine. I got tungsten this way, which I mentioned I was low on. Once at the location on day 91, my ice vortexes made quick work of even the heaviest of guards here, so reaching the main facility was done rather quickly. And by using the stuff that Trent gave us on this here terminal, we get to read up on Mary. Time to figure out who she really is. Her full name is Mary Ames, just like the Ames that we read about when we learned about the 2 Rosetta factions at the research facility on day 25. Turns out that Mary was selected and cultivated by Marcus Ames, the head of gene research. By using Stardust and test tube babies, he created clones with surpassing abilities, and I guess thus Mary was born and named after him. She was then indoctrinated with meta-human theories to become loyal to their cause, and so she believes that human evolution is mankind's last hope for survival. She then got even stronger with Stardust and by absorbing deviations, and as an adult got to being the leader of an elite group of agents, serving as a stone-cold leader at that. In this appointment book, we read that she has outstanding performance in special operations, so much so that she got promoted to captain of the agent department, warden of the prison, and commander of the entire Rosetta division on Nalcott. So, yeah, she's apparently the head honcho running all the shots in every conceivable way. So I think it's safe to assume that she is the Commander Ames, the one that attacked the Advent sect as the evolutionists, which caused the whole debacle between them. Well, that's all the info that I need. On foot, I return to Blackfell in a hurry, by wing as well, and by gravity too. Oh no. After exchanging info with Trent, we conclude the following: that she is the reason the monoliths are causing all the problems, and that she's the reason that mayflies are dead, and that she provoked conflict between Rosetta and the Union of the Safe Zone Settlements, who, by the way, are in full support of us, not them. Also, likely, Mary knows about Mitsuko's whereabouts due to the things that she said. That is where this quest line ends, and a new one opens up with Trent right then and there. Turns out there's a bad situation unfolding that Mary is involved in. She is taking her experimentations way too far. Apparently, she wants to evolve humans so much that they surpass the Great Ones themselves. So the monster she used to attack us likely is just one of her many experiments. We are to head on to a place to the north named White Cliff. This place has a research lab and we need to stop her there, but it won't be that easy because that place is loaded with elite guards. Other intel that we have is that Mary recently has visited Sunshine Farms, which is an old mayfly stronghold, so that can't have been just a coincidence. The place now belongs to vultures. V also asks us to look for fragments of his memories at the farm. He was there in the past, and that place was a camp from where mayflies had attempted to infiltrate the White Cliff lab. In preparation for the coming fights, I set the tungsten that I gathered to smelt, collected 1 special fuel from my refiner, and set out with my pickup is what I want to say. I kinda got stuck in every way imaginable with this rust bucket, and once I did finally get going, it was slower than the bike. So I just started siphoning gas on the road to then move on my bike, but even then had to just end up running most of the way. So I first reached the solar panel fields of Sunshine Farms at dusk. A broken guns blazing, and I wanted to listen in on the spatial theaters, but the vultures subtitles kept covering everything up, so it was a bit hard to follow the story, but from what I gathered, Victor Hamlet is V, which makes sense because that's the dude that we saw in the spatial theaters at the start of the video comforting Mitsuko. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but we are looking for his memories after all, so it makes sense. He is talking to Mary in one of them. He tells her to stop what she's doing, and she just calls him a coward and speaks about evolving to be stronger than the Great Ones, I'm guessing. Then a large portion got cut out by one vulture subtitles. So the next bit that I got to understand was more of Mary just wanting to make humans invincible. I can only assume that V opposed her evolutionist plans that caused human suffering in the process. After a bit of more combat, I could see a theater of V and Mitsuko, and for a brief second I read that V says that the cradle that Mitsuko made will be the key to our salvation without losing our humanity. I guess the difference is that Mary wants to absorb and control deviants, while Mitsuko and V want to work alongside them like she mentioned at the start. Then again, vultures cut out the rest of the dialogue. I then did whip out one of my own drones because I had that specialization to make it stronger and hoped that I could decimate the vultures that were bothering me with all this, but I just couldn't really get it to work. I must have been doing something wrong. As for the final theater, V again tells Mary to stop what she's doing, which involves hurting Mitsuko, which makes sense because Mary does experiment on humans. She is surprised that he gave her a name to begin with, and that just shows how little humanity she has. Both see Mitsuko as human salvation, but in opposing ways, so they just can't see eye to eye, which ended up in Mary firing V. Also, the solar farm list got completed, by the way. V then talks to us briefly on day 92 now that he has his memories back. He might not have been able to protect Mitsuko from Mary in the past, and so now entrusts his duty to us. We gotta get to White Cliff as fast as possible and put an end to all of this. On foot though, which took forever and a half until I finally found just a smidge of gas. Thanks to that, I zoomed across a massive bridge for the final stretch and saw snow on the way because we're so far north, but hold the phone, that there is a massive final Rosetta base and Mitsuko in front of it. She has had a surge of courage thanks to us and knows that she needs to act to set things right because we gotta stop Mary together before she destroys all of us in her madness. This is the place where Mitsuko was experimented on, and she'll press through it and provide support for us. With that said, we are brought into an instance of White Cliff Labs and waste no time here to storm the gates, but the whole way Mary is mocking us, saying we should join her but also sets her troops to eliminate us on sight. Just make up your mind! After just melting this heavy with our frost vortexes, we're able to go down this elevator deeper into the lab. This is going to be tough since I am running a bit low on ammo. At this new floor, Mary calls her father on over, sarcastically implying that we want to witness a miracle.
Oh, what in the heck? Is that your own dad? Oh, hell no.
Turns out that Mr. Ames in this state is completely invincible and has troops backing him up, so I had enough to micromanage as I was looting logs from Mr. Ames. One of them states that Mary, even in the test tubes, destroyed and absorbed 5 of her siblings, similarly to how stardust-infected creatures do. Savage. As to her indoctrination to give her purpose, she is set on selecting and absorbing the strongest humans, all in an attempt to become strong enough to save the entire human population. It was also considered to give her contact with Mitsuko since they are similar in age and power, but different in temperament, and that might produce some interesting results. A different research log from Mary states that Mr. Ames was a big investor for Rosetta's research, so the staff needed to show him results when he got here. Also, they should tell him that they have the girl, likely Mitsuko, under control and dissected the secrets of her sublimation. Next, I think what happened is they turned Mr. Ames into this entity that's chasing us and plan to feed her to him so that he can evolve even further. With this keycard upgraded once at this box, I was able to locate Mr. Ames in a confined cell, the true body of him that I think is controlling the beast that was chasing us. And the beast won't die unless the main body does.
Silence.
Okie grand threat defeated, so we can go home now, is what I thought, but no. Upon leaving, we get a cutscene of 2 heavy guards blocking our path. That's not what has me worried, it's Mary up top being all ominous and evil that's got me riled up. Turns out we are too late, as she makes the sky turn red and summons giant tentacles. She then lifts into the air and then elegantly descends down to us, teases us on how powerful she is, then leaves behind her bodyguards into a secure room and says that we either yield to evolution or just get used to it.
Snap back to reality. Okay. Time for you two to die.
During my skirmish with the heavies, Mitsuko heals me as her one and only appearance in all of this mess. And with all that done and dusted, the quest instance is done. After some upkeep, I reported the sky tentacles to Trent, and apparently that is known as the Manibus, the strongest rift entity which also appeared at Starfall 20 years ago. All of this simply leads us to what I'm guessing are top tier Prime Wars to do as many players with the Manibus present. I really wish that I could participate in that content right at this moment, but it is up to you, my lovelies, to beat it in my place. They seem to be scattered all the way in the middle of nowhere to the north. As for me, it's my first time visiting this region, so I just fished the night away under a starry night sky. Yeah, alright, day 93, the final stretch of the story. We gotta beat that final great one, and to do that, we need to do some calibrating. So I ran the fast silo on medium difficulty. It is a little bit tougher because there are more enemies, and the final fight has some sport mechanics, but I can still do it in 4 minutes for 110 Stardust. The easiest difficulty can be done in 2 minutes and gives me 80 dust, so my almost flunked out of math brain tells me that the lower one is faster dust per hour. I'll get to grinding that soon, because I had to do some upkeep first, and then talk to Samuel's informant near Blackfell about Mary's human experiments that he mentioned. This fellow here with a very peculiar name says a mother and daughter named Eve and Kelly were abducted by Rosetta and brought to the LEA lab for experimentation. Turns out this quest line leads us to that HP lab that was for level 50 difficulty. Oh boy. I'll touch on that later. I got larger fish to fry. This is where I grinded the ever-living daylights out of my favorite silo. The grind was a day-long project, but more base-related duties had to be tended to on day 94, like getting some iron and checking what the gremlins at my base are up to, like this little dude over here.
think it would let me throw him that far. Where did he go? Oh, there you are. So, oh, you're just gonna keep doing whatever the heck you're doing. Okay.
The iron was then turned into batteries, and that let me make an advanced rock drill, because Papa wants some tungsten. And this bad boy is fast, let me tell you. I use this through the desert, loading up in a flash, which let me make tungsten ammo. And then I just got straight to do more silo grinding. By the end of the day, the boots were max calibrated, and this continued for the next day entirely. More silos, gloves maxed, pants maxed, armor's done, more silos, got a freaking katana, which is sick. More silos, and calibrated my SMG to 9 out of 10 to end the night. 96 was just more silos to max out that SMG. More silos, calibrated Doom to 9 out of 10. More silos through the night into 97, which is when I noticed an update had changed the override powers by a lot. So I had to reset everything, and I'll detail all that later. I eventually got Doom to 10 out of 10, so that's pretty sweet. And I suppose we have no more grinding to do, surprisingly. Let's go face that final boss. I'm sure it'll be a breeze. And I was excited to break into the Forgotten Monolith site. The build is as ready as can be, and the katana was just so fun to mess around with. First inside the main building, the pollution started to grow, and it didn't take all that long to find the main hub.
Okay, so I'm a little bit tenser on this one. It's the final boss. To my knowledge, I have no idea what to expect at all. And all I know is we gotta do this to find Samuel's lost deviant. So what do we see here? Okay, so it's like a giant tree thing, like those plant humanoids that we saw in the vision from the mayors there. Definitely has the flowers on it. Level 60 recommended for 4 players. Only Pro is available. I do not know if we can do this. I've done everything possible to prepare, and I still don't know if it's going to be enough. Let's just hop in, not think about it. Okay, we're in a little makeup room. Okay, I can already see its health bar. It's a little bit scary. Ooh. Oh, the stage opens. Okay, this is my vibe, though. Hello. You know, I get you. I can appreciate a good performance. You got some talent. Yeah. Where are you going? Ooh, you got friends. You got a lot of friends. No, that's great. No, that's totally awesome. Now where's this going? This grand spectacle of yours, foul demon. What is your purpose? Explain thyself. Ooh, where in the heck am I? I can hear something. Ooh, yeah, I heard something. Oh, it's a massive. Oh, it is huge. This is the biggest one we fought until now. He absorbs those little ones, it seems. Ooh, hello, little one. Okay, I hope that was an indication to its mechanics, to be honest. Oh, shit. Okay. T. Good. Just max out our health here before we get started. Are you waiting for me? That's so polite. Aim for the glowing weak spots to cause more damage. Glowing weak spots, you say? Well, the thing is, he's not doing anything. I kind of feel bad if I just be the first one to shoot, you know? He ain't done nothing wrong so far. I don't have a lot of shotgun ammo. That's a bad start. Here we go. I don't know where the glowing bits are. I guess it's the plants. Oh, ooh. Okay. Okay. I can see that this is going to be tough. Oh, is that one of the glowy bits? Ooh, mama. Oh, Lord. Okay, so now he's immune because he closed his hands. Oh. Just aim for the middle. What is this? Okay, I have a little ball that it dropped. I don't know what that did. Oh, yeah. Missed that. How do I block against that? I can't move past this wall. What do the balls do? Take one to your face. Oh. Okay. I can see that that's a way to stun him. Gotcha. There you go. Open up for me. Oh, he has a lot of health. Okay, I didn't get damaged that time. That's not bad. Yeah, I honestly don't know how to dodge that one. I'm sure there's a way, and I just realized that I did not bring any adrenaline whatsoever. Whoa! Oh, wait. I do have adrenaline. Never mind. Ha! Thank you, past me. You're so smart. How about we activate that living armor? That actually might be a really good idea, now that I think of it. Okay, here it comes. Whoop. Oh, okay. I dodged it this time because I was far enough on the left side. Okay. Oh, crap. Here it comes. Run. Run. Run! Woo. We live to tell the tale. There ya go. Oh, what in the frick? Oh, hell no. Okay, you. Jelly will handle you guys. Jelly will keep y'all entertained. Oh, crap. Oh. What do you do? Where'd he go? Uh-oh. This is not good. Oh, there he's back. Oh, crap. So many allies now. And they're level 60. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, heal. Oh my gosh, even just these little guys. Okay, my living armor kicked in there, that's good. Oh, it hurts so much. I don't think I can do this. I'm gonna press on, but I have my doubts. Ain't gonna lie to you. Jelly, save me! Oh! Okay, so you could fall off the stage. Noted, and it's full health. Oh boy. Well, hello again. This is crazy. Alright, I feel like I'm gonna be here for a while. At least I got my adrenaline shots back. Okay, that's truly the trick. You just gotta wait for its opening. Whoop. Once you have that, you're good. If that arm lights up, he's gonna do that. Oh, now he's gonna come from that side. Yeah, once you know how to read him, it gets a tad easier. Because then that way, he doesn't hit you with that one. Could you leave me alone? Yeah, I do gotta get rid of those. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, they heal. Oh, they heal a lot. Here we go. Oh, getting clobbered here. Finally. Oh, this might be it for me. Yeah. One more adrenaline. We don't even have a down quarter. Not even close. Not even close to a quarter. Oh my gosh, this is a problem. Wakey, wakey. Oh, that's a big one. Oh, they're coming for me. Oh, they track you too. Oh, big one. There, open up. Whoop. There you go. Can I stop it? Nope, I cannot stop it. Ooh, mama. My armor's basically broken already, by the way. Ah, that's it. That's it. I can't do it. No shot. Absolutely no shot.
Okay, that changes things. I really didn't expect to have to make a new build at the time, so I was repairing my gear and making ammo and just came to the conclusion that I need to deal more damage, and that will be in the form of a shock build. We have no time to waste, so on day 98 I made the tier 5 Outsider AR. With that, a Falcon jacket to replace my tactical vest. Add this amazing shock mod to the AR and I am out of dust. Nice. So before I went to do more silos for that, I decided I don't really need jelly anymore and added the canine skull. The wolves do help in the dungeon as they do multiply and deal good damage, but I'm not sure if I'm feeling it to be the best choice for the final boss just yet. After running the dungeon quite a few more times just to be sure about my decision and to get dust to calibrate some more gear, I chose the slime wall to tag along as it's a healer, and I'm not sure, but maybe it applies a buff called Fortress Warfare. I also end up referring to him as Jelly quite a few times, so yeah, don't get confused. And this little fella heals very well, as I confirmed in the silos. It also cures sanity, which is a very nice bonus. With more tungsten gathered till dusk and then smelted down, I saw that I am almost out of acid, so we need to make do with what we have. Because of this, I started to use copper ammo for silo grinding to save the good ammo for the finale. The last bits of acid were spent on a few final meds, and to end off the day, I got a magazine and muzzle for the AR. After more silos were ran on day 99, I decided to just disassemble my Icy Rain SMG as well as my tactical vest for tons of dust because I don't really need them anymore. That there helped me get the AR max calibrated, same for the key goggles. And with some final silos under my belt, I got the chest maxed out as well, so that's all pieces done. I just had a few more upgrades in mind, which involve completing another sproutlet truck, smelting some steel, load up on some ammo, and tried a low-level Prime War, just to see exactly what it's all about. Apparently, you gotta defend this thing by building defenses around it from bosses that spawn, and apparently you can't really beat it unless you place turrets to weaken the boss, so I couldn't do it by myself, but at least I can show you how they work. And here we are, the final cycle. Day 100 is now upon us, and I did one final cheeky Sproutlet truck event, which was so useful as I was able to purchase this shock mod for my armor, which is called Thunderclap. I then got to enhancing almost all of my equipped mods fully, and it really is good improvements by doing this. I just ran out of energy link in the end. But that's the final build, ready to rumble.
Okay, so about the build. For our final build, as to the override slots, we have Strategic Genius, so we want to use a lot of tactical items to get a lot more damage against Great Ones. Then we have one just to boost our healing times and the healing effect. Next we got Tactical Combo for more weapon damage for 9 seconds if the magazine is more than half full after a kill. Then we got Flame Resonance after hitting a weak spot, status damage plus 25% for 3 seconds. And we do have a lot of weak spot damage, so we really want to hone in on that. Then we also got Precise Execution, so when we kill the underlings, for example, we get more weapon damage and more weak spot damage, which is amazing. We're stacking that up even more. Upper Hand, after reloading, we get a lot of damage to our Power Surge, which is great because that's what our weapon does. Then we also got Steady Hand. I don't know if our little Fortress dude gives us Fortress Warfare. I'm not sure, but it says something about, you know, boosting bullseyes, so we're gonna go with that. And lastly, Instant Obliteration. So after we trigger a Power Surge, we get even more Power Surge damage. So it's really focused on weak spots and power surges, so that's what we're going off of with the overrides. As for our gear, everything is maximum calibrated and almost all of the mods are enhanced fully. I just completely ran out of energy link. The Doombringer is going to give us the bullseye that we want, which makes them weaker to our damage, which also will let us crit more, as you can see down here. Which works well with our assault rifle for the power surge, because down here it says crit hits increase the chance of triggering power surge by 30%. So the more we crit, the more power surges we do. And yes, the key item that we have are these Mayfly goggles. It does give us power surge count 1, so it ticks an extra time to my understanding, although it makes the power surge a little bit less damaging, but in the end, it's more trigger counts, and in turn it should be more damage. As for the armor, we got 4 pieces
of Falcon, so we're keeping our stamina up super high, and the higher we keep it, the more crit rate and crit damage we have, which again, works well with everything else. And lastly, our Renegade Boots simply gives us a little bit more reload speed, but that does play into the build as well. As for the mods on our gear, the Doombringer is rocking Recover Mark, so when we defeat marked enemies, which the weapon does, we recover HP and stamina, which again plays off of our Falcon set. As for the Assault Rifle, we got this mod here, Surge Amplifier. Dealing power surge damage grants power surge damage plus 5%. And as you can see down there, we got a lot of damage against elite enemies and such because they are all enhanced. The goggles are actually really nice. They're fully enhanced because after reloading, which we do faster, by the way, because of what I just mentioned, we get 10% more crit rate and 20% crit damage for 2 seconds. So that reload speed is really handy. And again, the attribute effects, we get a lot of damage against Great Ones. Thunderclap, the one that we just bought, after triggering Power Surge 20 times, which again, we do pretty fast because of the goggles, because we get that extra counter, the next hit summons Celestial Thunder, which is an extra shock damage of 250 Psy damage. What is Psy damage? Well, I have it here listed in my armor stats. To my understanding, every piece of gear, as you can see in this little thing here, Psy intensity, that has gone up on all of the pieces because they are all max calibrated. So I think this is high Psy intensity, so that Thunderclap should come in real nicely. Have 25% more weak spot damage and more crit damage, so combo that with even 4.8% more damage against Great Ones just on this one item. We're going to be hitting like a truck. The boots here give us a rush hour, so every 10% HP lost, we get melee, which we don't care about, but we do get more status damage, which is great because that's what we do with our shock there. As for the jacket, we have having enemies 7 meters around you grants 10% damage reduction, which most of the time we should have because there are always enemies around us, little underlings. And if they hit us with melee, we get even more damage reduction, and the attributes are amazing with even more crit damage and against Great Ones. And lastly, we have the legs. When the magazine is empty, we get status damage plus 10% for 12 seconds up to 3 stacks, so it should be able to stack up to 30% with even more damage against Great Ones, as you can already tell. That's sort of the whole shtick of this build. As for our inventory, we have a ton of tungsten rifle ammo. I cannot make any more of tungsten ammo past this. This is all I got. That's all I got in me. We have some standard shotgun ammo because I'm just going to be using the Doombringer to mark enemies. And then we have quite a few grenades and such to throw around because, again, if we go to our cradle, we have this special little thingy where when we use tactical items, we can damage 25% more on Great Ones. So that should play nicely. I need to throw grenades as much as possible. And we have 5 adrenaline shots, so if we go down, we should have a couple of opportunities to keep going. As for consumables, we have enough water. We should have quite enough activators and these long-acting activators. We got quite a few of those. We have a chlor armor, which is the extra health bar that we get. We shouldn't need to use more than 2 of these because they don't proc after 10 minutes of having used one last. And then we got this thing, assorted canned fruit, used to increase weak spot damage by 25% when your sanity is above 80%. So I'm really hoping that that's going to come in clutch, especially because our little jelly friend in our backpack heals us like crazy and also recovers our sanity. So everything should play together very well, I hope. Fingers crossed. I have no idea if we actually can beat this. This is a all or nothing situation.
This is it, my lovelies, the final showdown. And as I'm on my way, I do want to take a moment to thank all of our lovely supporters that support the channel every month. I do greatly appreciate it, so thank you very much. Now, let's see how this build does against the final Great One.
And here we go. Chloroform armor on. Herbal tea. So sanity is good. Canned fruit for that extra buff for half an hour. Oh. Here we go. And we're off to a rocky start. And my... Oh, man. Okay. My living armor already had to activate. Oh, boy. Oh, but we are dealing much more damage. Look at that damage we just did there. Oh, my gosh. The damage we're dealing is so much higher than the first time. There we go. Stun you for a bit. Give me a bit of a window opportunity here. Jelly. Open up. Thank you. Our health is staying up nicely because Jelly was out till now. Ah, I almost dodged that in time. That's okay. That's okay. Oof. Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Open up. Okay. Here comes Big Boy. Pretty sure he's marked. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're dealing a lot of damage to him now. Oh. Oh. Heal. Throw a grenade. Just to proc my bonus. Oh, I'm down. Okay, that's fine. We're allowed to use 3 adrenalines. Jelly's back. Take out the flyers. Super fast. Oh, they go down so much faster. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Central site is about to break up, it says. Okay. So when he slams, the floor can break is what I get from that. Oh, these are the following ones. They're already in stage 2. Oh boy. Oh. Oh, I fell to my death because he broke the floor. Whoop. Nice. Okay. Okay. All right. He becomes much easier once you know his pattern. It really helps. And I'm not worrying about killing the little guys because they give me a damage debuff and I just circle them. And I use my nades on them to get my buff. And there we go. We have him almost under half. Okay. He's crying. Oh, it disappeared on me. Oh, man. And under half. All right, we have the swarm again. Okay, he's gonna break this platform, I think. Yep. I want to fight him on this end. There we go. Thanks to that thunder clap. Heal. And now this side is about to break up. But not fully yet. Ow! Okay, now he's gonna break this side fully. Yep, there we go. That side's been broken fully. Okay. You're dead. There's no platform here. All I got is the middle now. All I have is the middle. What the? Shoot. Can I tank this? Oh, I heal quite a bit. Oh, what are you doing? Uh-oh. Oh, no! Oh, buddy! Legs slightly injured to the fall. Oh, so now my movement speed is low. Where am I supposed to go? I can't run this way. I can't run this way. Are you hitting yourself? Whoa. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Lasers from the sky. Okay. Okay. I think I'm safe as long as I don't stand in those. Whoop! Oh, I couldn't jump. I couldn't jump because of my knees, I think. And here we go again. Oh. Makes me so slow. This one, though, I can't do anything about. Except for maybe Jelly? No, but he heals me up at least fast. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. Through the pillars of light. I'm gonna throw a tactical. Just to hopefully get a buff. I don't know if that's gonna work marking him. Oof. Okay. I still have an adrenaline. I still have one. Oh, you looking for me, huh? Yeah, I don't think I can dodge the grab. I don't think I can. Oh, that hurt me, though. Oh, that hurt me big time. Okay, heal quickly, or else I'm not gonna live that. Let's get some damage in. Here. Heal me. Okay, here come now the skylights. Thank you, Jelly. Oh, this is a big opener. Now that I know I just need to stand at the end. Just force through it! Force through it! He's almost dead. He's almost dead. It's almost dead. Impeccable commentary. I know, my lovelies, but this is all I can muster. There we go. Thank you for opening up. Oh, that is just what I needed. Oh. We're good. We're good. We did it. At 1 a.m., sure, but I'll take it. I will take it. Give me that nutcracker. Whatever you do, I deserve it. Whoo, mama! That was a good old doozy, dear Lord.
We did it! I am so glad that this build came in clutch in the end. So let's see what Mitsuko has to say. Victor having protected her was a blessing and a curse for her, for she wishes that she never had the powers to begin with because that's what caused her parents to pass away because she couldn't control them. And she is now able to remember everything. She isn't quite ready to come over to the physical world with us, but we saved the day, so maybe soon she will join us. We gotta let everyone know in Blackfell what happened too. Turns out Ted was the great one all along, and with him now beat, not only did everyone get their memories back and can live in harmony, but they're all relieved that Ted can finally rest in peace. It sure does feel good to have set everything right. And just to have given y'all a glimpse of even more endgame content, there is that LEA lab dungeon that I wanted to try where Mary is experimenting on the mother and daughter that were abducted. And man, this is one difficult dungeon. It's got multiple boss rooms with unique mechanics. Solo, I got past the first pair of bosses, but didn't stand the slightest chance against the second one. So I challenge y'all to take your friends along and beat this dungeon in my stead. I hope you enjoyed this grand adventure because I really enjoyed my time in this one, so be sure to download the game for free on Steam using my link down below and use my code to get a boost to your account to get started. And remember, it does have PvP and PvE, so there's something for everyone, so invite your friends. And of course, a big thank you to OnceHuman for sponsoring this video and letting us go in depth into this world. With all that being said, thank you so very much for watching, and I'll be seeing you very soon. Take care now, bye-bye.